time to go down to the basement. Take that VHS out of its sleeve and get ready for some frights.
Welcome. Pull up a seat with Mikey and Maddie, and don't forget to turn off the lights, because you are now alone in the dark.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 103. Maddie,
We got here, 103.
we did. And we are live on YouTube right now. I'm trying to make sure it's working, but I can't tell.
We're live at the Midnight Monster Hop, also known as Mike's Basement.
That's true. We are in the new setup here at my house here, which is if people that are just listening to us for the first time, we used to have a podcast space in my old house, and now we're in my new house, which has been really nice to set up this nice area for us to podcast in. But Matt, we are here to discuss this movie again because we did an episode. I forget what episode it was, but we did an episode right where we talked about Halloween Ends. Is that correct?
Yeah, I feel like we didn't really dig too deep, though. We really kind of just glossed over the surface.
Yep.
And we talked about our thoughts, and how, we also included it. We did the Halloween ranking with the horror dads with John and Jamie.
Yep.
And that was the most fun I had talking about Halloween films in a really long time. This one came up way high on my list.
Right. Yeah. It definitely did. And for me, it was sort of
In the middle.
yeah.
Bottom, middle, somewhere.
Yep. Definitely. So we are here to talk about this film, and we're going to get into details. We're going to be joined by some special guests that we reached out to, and we're going to let those people come in and chat with us. So
So what this is, Mike, is to lay the groundwork really quickly. So this is 2 years later. Halloween 2022 was when Halloween Ends came out. I actually saw it on Peacock
yes.
the night it dropped.
Yep.
And this is 2 years later. It's Halloween 2024. And I kind of wanted to, and we talked about this, doing like a reappraisal, right? This movie is very divisive.
Yeah.
So you have people that really, really just detest it and want it like not even to be like, part of the franchise at all.
Right.
They don't want it to, as they could say in the Star Wars universe, they don't want it to be canon, so to speak. And there's people that really thought it was a really cool idea and a welcome change.
Right.
Right. So is this a shapeless turd, as I call it? It doesn't have enough Michael Myers
Well,
in it?
that's what a lot of people said, right?
Right. Or is it an unsung, underdog, kind of underappreciated little movie?
Yeah. So I feel like maybe before we let people in, we should discuss how we feel about it.
Agreed.
Yeah, and we'll have a little discussion, and then we'll start bringing in. I'm having trouble. I don't see people in our waiting room, but it shows that people are watching us on here. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to figure this out as we discuss, because we've never really done.
So, Mike, I know
this live video.
Anybody who's a patron of ours on Patreon, you knew years and years ago, I wrote a 3-page kind of I don't know, it's a paper of some sort, a reaction paper. And it was called Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, Hallelujah. Which kind of tells you where I'm at, right? So I'm thinking the Michael Myers and Laurie Strode storyline has run its course.
Right.
It has run its course.
Yeah.
They're both, listen, I am not, against the elderly. I include myself toward the latter end of middle age of my life. But let's face it, Michael Myers and Laurie are no spring chickens anymore. They're getting older. So Halloween has taken the series as far as it could possibly go. Half the town running around in lynch mobs. The more he kills, the more he transcends. Huh? What? We talked about that?
Yeah.
Where do you go from there?
It's hard, Matt. I think they sort of, I don't know how you feel, but I don't know if they were making this up as they went along. Do you feel like David Gordon Green had a full plan for 1, 2, and 3?
No.
One thing I'm going to say really quick, Matt, for people that are waiting in Riverside, hit that request to join, and I think you guys will show up in the feed, because I think right now you're not showing up. So if you request to join, and then I'll click on your name and you'll come in. But Matt and I are going to talk for a
No,
couple
so
minutes.
answer your question, I do not think he had it all planned out. I think he had a sketch. I think he had a skeletal outline, but I think 3 came a little bit later.
And here's my theory is that he didn't as well, and that's because if David Gordon Green was smart, he would have introduced Corey in Halloween or Halloween Kills.
If he had
don't you think?
pre-thought, yeah,
And
somewhere.
I think they sort of came up with this concept afterwards, and they didn't really know. So I think they sort of made this one up as they went
Right? Like
along.
Allison should have seen him in the hospital maybe or something,
Right, or
and
they
they should have had a
met-
moment in the hallway or
right.
something,
It's like,
right?
oh, Corey, like they knew each other from the past or something.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that would have made sense.
But anyway, like Michael Myers, the unkillable killing machine, right? That's what the hook they always hung the series on, and I just think it got old.
Yeah.
The fan service, I think, the Easter eggs. I mean, how much more can you just pay fan service to this over and over? You reference the glory days of the franchise, right? Meanwhile, they're painful reminders that you simply can't recapture that magic.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
as good as anyone thinks the newer films are, I mean, they're still not the old. They can never be. And I get it. I'm not trying to be unfair,
Yeah.
but they're clearly, by tributing constantly and throwing all these Easter eggs in there, you're saying, okay,
Yeah.
we're honoring the legacy of greatness that came before us. But are we just saying, oh, by the way, here's another tribute because our film's not great, so we're going to keep tributing back to the old films, which obviously clearly you revere and you love so much, right?
Yes.
So I don't know, you wink at the past. How much can that, I don't know, Mike, Halloween, the original, it's great.
Yeah.
It's always going to be great. But just because you have Michael Myers standing behind sheets on a clothesline, like in Halloween 2018, the kids with Halloween 3, like you had the shirt on today.
Yes. Yeah.
The,
'Cause
the
this
masks,
This is kind of like the Halloween 3 of this series.
which I thought was kind of cool with the kids. The kids in Halloween Kills, we had them with the masks on, and they actually explored like oh, the guy's playing hide and seek over there, and
Right.
he keeps, and that was a really creepy scene anyway.
Yeah.
But all these homages, Mike, they're echoes of past greatness.
Right.
That's what they are. They're painful
Yep.
reminders. They're echoes. You can't create your own greatness by simply making a mixtape
Yes.
or greatest hits of the past films.
Right.
So you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So
Yep.
Halloween needed a fresh start, and I think Enter Halloween Ends.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where are you on that?
No, I agree with you there. I think for me, this movie was one thing I didn't mention is where I saw this. I remember you and I were talking about this film, and I just have this. Ever have one of these memories where you just think of this freaky stuff? But I actually watched this on my bed eating the Ghost Pepper Whopper from Burger King that my wife got me.
Impossible.
The Impossible Whopper.
Ghost Pepper
yes,
Whopper.
yeah, because I don't eat meat.
Right.
But I just never forget sitting on my bed watching this movie before. I think I had a shoot that night, and I was watching this before the shoot, and I just remember like texting you like, "What is happening right now?"
And I'd seen it already.
Yeah, and you had seen it, and I was like, "Matt, what is happening?" You were like, "You got to text me as soon as you see
Let's
it."
keep watching it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I was just watching. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? So, I love this movie. I love the intro. I love the fact that they switched up. And, what's crazy about this movie, I don't know if you realize, is Michael Myers isn't in it until like the 40-minute mark or something like that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, what an opening.
Yeah.
This opening's killer.
It's so great, dude. That body splat.
Yeah, and the
It's-
way it's shot is beautiful too.
Yes.
Like he really artfully does it. He doesn't like over glorify it
Yeah.
and gratuitous with it. He's very, very so calculated
Yes.
and cool about it.
Yeah. I just want to say again, John from Horror Dads is ready to come in. We'll get to him in a minute. But
Sure.
for people,
Couple minutes, John. Sorry.
right? Yeah, for people that are in Riverside waiting to chat, make sure you request to join because then your name will show up. There we go. So people are starting to pop in now, so that's good.
All right. So I want to make a point here, Mike, and I want to see if you're on this train or not. So
Okay.
I'm going to make this is I've been thinking about this and chewing on this for a long time.
Okay.
So these fans that say that Halloween Ends single-handedly ruined the franchise. These are the same people that love Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Right.
A lot of love for that movie. Not when it came out,
No.
but a lot of love for it now,
Yes.
including you and me.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
have a lot of love for that movie. But I got to be honest with you, Mike. We love The Curse of Michael Myers.
We do.
Didn't that ruin the franchise? Let me explain.
Okay, because I was gonna say I don't think it ruined the franchise.
Halloween 5 introduced the Man in Black. Kind of ruined. There, you can't go back from that.
No.
You painted yourself in a corner. So they came up with this whole thing. I mean, come on, he only kills because he's under the influence of Cult of Thorn. That
Right.
kind of ruined the franchise.
Well,
from the continuity of the first 1, 2, and
it
4.
does, but you know me. I love the Salt Lake trilogy. That's like
I do, Mike, but Little Ruins of Light,
we were just watching part 6
the
upstairs.
Bane
before we
of
came down
Thorn,
here.
like Michael's kryptonite. I mean, Tommy arranges these little runes in the shape's path, and when he steps within the circle, he's frozen like a mystical ward. Does this sound like Lord of the Rings, or does this sound like Halloween?
No, I know, but you gotta go with that script. It was so good. I've read the original script, Matt, and it was such a great
I agree
script.
with you, but you have to admit, if you're talking about the storyline, right? Laurie Strode, Michael Myers, Halloween 6 completely deviates and takes a complete right turn. Now, Daniel Farrens, God bless his soul,
He's so
did the
talented.
best he could with what he, because Halloween 5, they did what they did.
Right.
They had the Man in Black. You don't know
Yeah.
what, this is the payoff of the Man in
He
Black.
had to do with what he was given.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You write yourself into the corner. We talk about these
Yep.
things. But if you're going to talk about the original plot line, Halloween 6 ruined, that's my pun
Yes.
on ruin, the Halloween plot line.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's the equivalent of too much content. This is what Disney's doing to Star Wars right
Yes.
now. The last few years, just got to keep creating this content. Mr. Content.
Mr. Content.
That's a Slumber Party Massacre
It is.
reference for those of you that don't know. And like I said, God bless Daniel Farrens. We had him on the show. He was such a class act, such a really creative, funny, warm guy.
So nice. Yeah.
And so proud of what he did.
Yeah, and he should be.
Unabashedly proud.
I'm telling you, I have the original script. If anybody wants it, reach out to me and I can send you the PDF. It's unbelievable how good the script is compared to even the producer's cut. It's
Yeah.
so much better.
Oh,
much better.
so even up from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt, I have a trivia question for you before we get to some people to call in here. As I said before, Michael Myers doesn't show up until the 40-minute mark in this film, Halloween Ends, right?
Yeah, that's what you told me.
What Halloween film from the franchise does Michael Myers show up at the 20-minute mark? Not until the 20-minute mark.
20 minutes in.
20 minutes in, Michael Myers shows up. Which Halloween film from the franchise does Michael Myers show up at the 20-minute mark? Anybody know?
I'm gonna say Halloween 2.
You're going to say Halloween 2? That's incorrect.
Well, they rehashed the beginning of the end of 1, but
So
you don't
he's-
see him for a little while after that.
Well, you see him at the beginning, though. So
Do
you
you
literally
see him with the L rods. Was that in the first 20 minutes? I guess it would be.
in this film that I'm referring to, he is not shown until the 20-minute mark.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Matt, look at my shirt.
Halloween 3.
Halloween 3. He's on the TV when,
Oh man! All
when
right.
Tom Atkins is at
in
the
bar. In the bar before Ellie walks in.
See, there you go.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, Mike, before we take our callers, listen, like we had these writers, we have Daniel Farrens, who had a wall in front of him.
Yep.
The only way to get past the wall, looking past the wall, looking at this night, inhumanly patient. You have to go. Daniel Farrens went through it. He didn't go around it. He didn't go over it, try to slip under it like an idiot. He went through it with something different. And I think that's what the Halloween Ends decided to do. They went through the wall, right? Because they had a wall in front of them.
Right.
Michael's transcending. Okay, now he's in a sewer. Okay, so we went a little too far. But it's going through the wall. We're trying
Right.
something different. Like you said. My faith in humans runs very deep. I believe in people.
Yeah, that's why you're a nice
But
guy.
when you saw the trailer for Halloween Ends,
Right.
did people honestly think this was going to be a 90 or 100-minute fight between Laurie and Michael? Did they honestly think that's what we're going to get?
Let me, I had a thought about this.
90 minutes of
Yeah.
fighting between
What
two
if-
geriatrics.
I've got a hypothetical for you.
Go ahead.
And I want to hear what your thought would be.
Go ahead.
I think this would have been really cool, actually, because we know the story is about Corey and Allison, right?
It is.
It is. It's
Absolutely.
it's a romance about Corey. It's like Christine, right? And we'll talk about Christine, hopefully, with some people.
Hmm.
It is a movie that is copying Christine, basically, to a T almost. But here's my theory. What if, or, my situation that would have been, I think, made it really cool. What if we had the Laurie Michael fight right at the beginning of the film as the cold open? Laurie kills Michael. Michael's dead. And then we start the Corey story.
I think that's a great idea.
Wouldn't that be really cool?
I think that's a great idea.
Get it right out of the way. So people are like, what the fuck? So we have, instead of the little kid, was it Jeremy? I forget his name is Jeremy, falling off
Yes.
the third floor and splatting, and then the Halloween
Yeah.
What if we had Michael and Laurie just going at it right from the start?
So kind of an inverse of Resurrections beginning.
Yeah, I guess. Is that a bad idea?
No, I'm not. No, good, bad, and different. I mean, I like that idea. I mean, listen, the fight we do get in this is really good.
Yeah, it is really good.
It's fantastic, and it's long enough.
Yeah.
But the fight they had at the end of 2018 is great, wasn't it? I mean, I know you're turning around a little bit on the Halloween
I am.
2018.
I am.
But you have to admit that whole showdown at the end is really good between Michael and
It
Laurie.
is. It is.
And you're not going to really top that.
Right. So let's talk about this because I recently have watched 2018 and Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
And I have a new kind of appreciation. People listen to us know I hated 2018, despised Halloween Kills. So I thought it'd be fun, and we're going to do this with our callers too. I want you guys to think about your ranking for this David Gordon Green series. So Matt, what is your ranking?
It's easy for me.
Okay.
I'm going 18 ends kills.
Whoa, 18 before ends.
I would. I'm very close. It's so close.
Right.
I'm just calling it that for now.
Okay.
I think Ends is a much more original movie. It's funny because Halloween 2018 is basically The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Think of it that way.
Right.
Right? It's almost a carbon copy. So if you're going originality, I'm going Ends all day is
Yes.
the first one. But I think as an entertaining movie, what people are expecting without tipping the hat too many times, I think
Right.
2018 does a really good job, though it does have too many
Yeah.
of those things in it. It's a good film.
Yeah.
It is. It's well made. It's well acted. It's tense. A little bit too much of the Myers and
Podcasters.
Prisoner.
Well,
Little
the prison thing, like seeing Myers too much, just
A little
drove me
bit.
nuts. I don't need to see that. I think the
You also see that in Kills, though.
you do, and being with Myers when he kills, especially when he's walking through, that drove me insane. too.
That didn't bother me.
I know it didn't bother you, but it bothered me. I don't want to. I want to see Myers coming out from the shadows, not following Myers like you're in a video game.
So on any given day, I could be Ends 18 Kills. Kills is always going to be last, but I definitely have a little bit more respect for Kills. I actually think it's an entertaining movie. I've watched it again since, and I would watch it again.
Sure.
I spat a lot of hate at this movie when it first came out.
Oh,
So did you?
did. Yeah.
Time softens these things.
Yeah, I agree.
But right now I'm going 18 Ends Kills.
Okay.
I know you're going Ends 2018 Kills.
Yeah, I would just go
Yeah.
just slightly different from you, but I will say this: I have a new appreciation for 2018, and I also have an appreciation for Kills. Like I
Okay.
really
Same as me.
appreciate the flashback scenes that they filmed were amazing, They look
Immaculate.
so good.
Yeah.
and I really like. I just like Laurie's daughter,
Allison.
Allison. I think,
Yeah, Andy Matichak's awesome.
yeah, really, really great.
She really is.
So I don't know. I have an appreciation
And
for that,
in End, she really gets to spread her wings. I mean,
which she does. No, I was talking about Laurie's daughter, which is played by
I'm sorry. You're talking about Karen.
Karen. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah. And she's awesome too.
Yeah,
Judy Greer.
Judy Greer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I like her too. But I mean, again, we had that epic battle at the end of 2018. That was so good. And you have a battle in this movie. It's not like it's not supposed to be Game of Thrones.
Right.
You know, here's the Battle of Blackwater. Here's the Battle of the Bastards. It's not one of those things. It's supposed
Yeah.
to just be, listen, they had a great fight. Accept it. They're not going to fight the Halloween Ends. It's not going to be a 90-minute fight between
Right.
Laurie and Michael. It's stupid. And what they did was they went through the wall.
Yes. They went past the wall.
They went past the wall. And they went to this night, Corey Cunningham style.
That's it.
And he was
So
born.
my biggest problem, my biggest problem with 18 and Kills, but especially with 2018, is Laurie's character. Is
Oh, the
very
survivalist thing?
well, yeah. That just like I like her better in Ends. I feel like she's more.
Oh,
of,
yes.
Transcending from part 2.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
transcending. Somebody else is transcending besides Michael?
Yes, that's it. But I feel like she's more like the Laurie that we know from the original.
Yes.
That's the Laurie that's like baking a pie and starting traditions and
That's the part of it. And that part, oh my God, we keep talking about this. My God, that scene in the supermarket between her and
and Frank.
I love
I love that too.
that scene.
I love that too.
Just this tiny glimpse of domestic bliss and normal people talking to each other
Yes.
normally without the shroud and shadow of a Michael Myers and a goddamn giant
That's what
knife
you
looming
need in
over.
a movie.
It was amazing.
You need that in a film to make a
They had their
film.
little baskets.
Yes.
I adore little touches like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do, and I
What-
think
what's
they.
the plant though? Something blossoms or something?
Yeah, I don't. That wasn't the cherry blossom, was it?
Cherry blossoms.
It might have.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you say Laurie's character, right? There's more chiaroscuro. There's more depth. That's the part I don't think David Gordon Green planned on.
Right.
I think that came out later. Like, listen, we have to, if we're gonna do this big thing with Corey, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's get Laurie right. Right. Let's get her right.
And they should have done that from the start.
And they should have, but they didn't,
yeah.
and that's fine. She was more of the H2O Laurie.
Yeah.
Like a hardcore, like 20 years later.
Yep.
From that, alcoholic,
Yeah.
crazy Laurie.
Yeah.
By the way, she was awesome in H2O too. Don't
No,
get me
she
wrong.
was.
And she's got that little bit of glow, and that kind of settled into my life. Like
Yeah.
it was something so amazing and controlled,
Yeah.
and deep.
Yeah.
Which, like you said, even the scene with her, Lindsay Wallace,
Yes.
and and Andy Matichak,
Yeah.
and Allison.
Yeah, and Allison.
It was like Annie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When they're in the kitchen and
It
stuff,
was like
and they're having
Annie,
the
Laurie,
conversation,
and
I love it. It
and
was
Linda in
great.
the first
It
one.
was very cool.
It was so good.
Yeah,
So we love that stuff.
we do. And I just want to say, I was distracted at the beginning of the episode because I was like trying to figure out what's going on the first time we're doing this. But I just want to say, we are here in October.
We are deep
We
in
are-
October.
We
now.
are eating candy corn. We have candy.
Reese's
it's-
candy corn.
And we're talking about a Halloween movie. So nothing is better than this. And the fact that you guys are enjoying that with us. We've got these great pumpkins here. I'm just like so happy that we're doing this right now.
Me
So
too.
I just want to say, Matt,
I am here, Mike.
I love you, man.
Man, I love you too,
love
man.
This is
Happy
great.
Halloween to you.
Happy Halloween to you. So what do you think, Matt? Should we let some people in and have a discussion?
Someone knocking at the door. Somebody in the.
And I never even played. I was so distracted. I never even played
Oh, the
theme
score.
song. Come on, the score is so good. I love that.
Is this the best score of the trilogy?
I don't know. Two's great. You've talked about two before, but that little addition to this,
Yes.
it's
Oh,
so fucking good.
it really is.
It's so good.
Do you think that's Daniel Davies
It might be. I don't know. It's a little like
or his son like added that?
maybe might be.
That shade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's let somebody in, Matt. We're gonna keep this discussion going, and we have our good friend Matt from Instagram. So, Matt, you're coming in, bud. Here we go. All right, we are joined by Matt. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Matt?
What's going on, guys?
Oh,
Man,
we
what
can't
an
hear you,
honor
Matt.
to be on the. Oh, sorry.
No audio there. Let's see. Is
Uh-oh.
your mic on?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
We're gonna see if we can fix that. We'll hopefully wait for you to pop in here.
Yeah.
Your audio setting might be off or something like that. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I'm looking for you.
Hold on. I think it's on your end, my friend. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Well, in Jaws, they might need a bigger boat, Mike, but we might need more candy corn.
We might need more candy corn running out. Hold on. I have your mic here. I muted it, but it's unmuted, so it must be on
Hello?
your end, your computer
Check,
setting. Or
1, 1,
something.
1.
I'm not sure.
Check 1 1 2 1 2.
So we're gonna keep talking here for a second and wait for Matt to come.
So,
in.
Mike, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween ends. We get the best of both worlds. What we want. We want Michael Myers,
Right.
and we get a different story like John Carpenter always talked about, right?
Yeah.
We get that in one film, all wrapped up.
Gotcha.
Both plus, guess what? Both of these stories end.
Yes.
Corey's horror
1,
story
2.
begins and ends. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen this. Please
true. At
don't
this
don't
point.
even listen to us on
Yes.
this podcast if you haven't seen this movie.
Right.
And then the Michael Myers, Laurie Strode storyline
Check
Cross your
1
fingers.
2 1
came
2.
to an end.
Yes.
Check
Inflection
check
on that
check
end.
1 2.
So the Halloween multiverse, though, Mike, I feel it's right around the corner because they're already talking about series.
There he is.
Oh,
Matt, you
All
there?
right,
Check
we got
one, two.
Matt.
There he is.
what's up? What's up, guys? How are you,
How
man?
are you?
What's
Sorry
up,
about
dude?
that.
What's up? It's still a little sunny out here on the West Coast, but
Yeah, look
man,
at you.
glad
So
to
where are
be
you,
with
Matt? Where are you located?
I'm in Santa Cruz, California.
Oh, it's 5:22 right now. Beautiful.
That's awesome. Santa Cruz. I love it.
We're at
I
8 o'clock.
love
We're
it, man.
8:22 over here, Matt.
Yeah, we're on the other
I
side.
got
man.
you. I got you. I used to live on the East Coast. I know how it is. Man, it's an honor to be on the show, and I want to thank you guys for letting me know about the producer's cut of 6. I had no
Oh,
idea that
cool.
existed,
Oh wow.
and that was a really cool discovery this Halloween season to watch that madness. That was really something.
Well,
So
hey, at
that's a
least
lot
at the end of the
going on.
movie, you know why Loomis is screaming now, though, right?
Yeah. 'cause
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
you do.
theatrical,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
no clue.
It's wild that the movies are so different. Like,
I
yeah,
know.
that's insane. Anyway, but I have to say about Halloween Ends, the thing about it to me that no one's talking about is really the effect of Halloween Ends. The fact that Halloween Ends, in my opinion, was so bad that it killed a whole other series of movies in the Exorcist Believer
Oh yeah.
kind of cause and effect. It's funny to me how, like, so again, people saw Ends, give or take whatever. This is their faith in David Gordon Green and
Yep.
horror movies kind of from here on out, right? And seeing how that affected him taking on a whole other franchise and kind of, I mean, again, I know that movie was #1 that weekend, but it didn't do what it was supposed to do, right? And it was
No.
trash or whatever. But
You know, Flanagan
So-
has the Exorcist series now, right?
I'm
just
so
released
excited
it.
about
Yes.
that. I mean, let's go. Anyway,
Let's go.
But I think the interesting thing is, like, it's just rare that a movie has that effect on an audience that it kills a whole other series.
That's a good point. That's an interesting point.
That is true.
I mean, you think about The Mummy. Tom Cruise's The Mummy killed the Dark Universe, right?
That's
But
true,
that's
yeah.
its own series. That's
Yeah.
its own. They just said we're not going forward with this anymore. This movie just prevented a whole other jump start to a whole other series, which is insane. Which I think justifiably so. I was pretty disappointed with Ends, and if I ranked them, I think I'd go 18. Kills and ends, just because it's the slow squashing of hope of kind of where this is going to be. I think like a lot of people, it's toward the ends of kills where the cards get laid on the table.
Yes.
And when you start to see what this is actually going to be, you're like, no. And I 100% agree with you so much. Such a great point that if Corey had been introduced earlier,
yeah.
this
Right?
this wouldn't have happened the way it happened.
And it wouldn't have been such a
shows-
shock, right? Like the audience wouldn't have been like, "Fuck this guy,
What
what's
is
going
this?"
on?" You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and I think to me, when you start something, you gotta know where you're going. And I
Right.
think I know he did the first movie and didn't know this was going to be a trilogy, and then they added on 2 and 3. But man, if you knew that was where you were going and you didn't put Corey in kills,
Right.
that's on you, man.
It
That's
is.
on
And
you.
they,
how
and they had an
cool-
extra year to do it.
They did. Yeah, they did have time to throw him
They
in.
had a COVID year thrown in there. They were supposed to remember.
Yeah. They could have
Yes,
slipped him in.
yes.
They could have slipped him in. Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. So
I think he tried to kind of do the Haddonfield thing and then do the Corey thing, and it would have made more sense together. And I totally agree with you that, I mean, I don't think people expected a 60-minute battle. I totally understand that, but I think
Yeah.
we expected a 15-minute
yeah,
battle or something, and we didn't
Right.
get that. And I think to me, the bottom line is you have to know, where am I going when I'm going to do a film, and then why are people coming to see Halloween?
yeah.
It's Michael Myers, right?
Right, of course.
It's kind of like, it's just one of those things where when you just lose sight of the basics, you get something like Halloween Ends.
So you're not a fan of Corey's story, the Corey and Allison thing? Are you like way anti, or were you kind of like, hey, this guy's cool, but
I'm not way anti. It just, to me, it
Could have been
it
handled
just
better.
wasn't woven in the way
Yeah, yeah.
it needed to be done. The characters weren't cared for. I mean, if you really think about it, and this is gonna a hot take, but Resurrection is more of a Halloween movie
yeah,
than Ends is, if you just go straight off
Sure.
the template, right?
Yep.
right.
And I just think I think if you're going to deviate from the template like that, and you're messing with a fandom and that type of stuff, you got to go into it and you got to write well. And you want people invested. I mean, if you want people rooting for Corey or whatever you want people to feel toward Corey, which I don't think is clear watching this movie, it's got to be kind of thought through, and it just didn't feel like it was.
Yeah.
Right. No, I
I,
think
I
that's-
ironically think this is David Gordon Green's most personal chapter of the trilogy, though. I really do. I think visually he puts his stamp more on this film than either of the other ones.
Yeah.
Because I think he was trying to do exactly what you're saying, Matt, which is be traditional as possible. Like when you watch 2018, I call it Force Awakens because that's what it's like. It took
Right.
it really kind of took that template or that the bones and structure of and the architecture of the original movie and placed it into a modern context. So you had these characters, and it's supposedly a direct sequel to the original one.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like very familiar as you watched it. Very,
Yeah.
very much like, oh, this is what I came to see, and that's why you get all the fan service, and which I always go, I understand why they're doing it, but it just takes me out of the movie every time a little bit. It's like you're
Right.
winking and winking and
Well, that's when
winking.
we were laughing in the theater a lot of
a little
times.
bit,
Yeah.
like yeah, just a little bit,
Yeah.
but
I agree. I think the first movie for me, I was interested in where this is going.
yeah, I liked. Mike did not upon first watch. He detested it.
Yeah.
I kind of liked 2018 a lot
Yeah.
when we first watched it.
Sure. Yeah, I just think you have to know where you're going to go.
Yeah.
If you're going to tease people like that, if you're going to take them down a road, you need to know where you're going. And I think that's kind of the fatal error of the trilogy, was it just didn't seem like it ended in a clear destination. Even though I appreciate the trilogy and I appreciate a lot of parts of it, but I
Yeah.
think the
It
story
didn't stick the
woven
landing.
throughout- that's exactly right.
Okay, and so it's interesting that you mentioned Exorcist Believer because I think the last thing David Gordon Green needed was to catapult himself into another, like all those expectations. Like you just got out of this, you just messed with something already with Halloween Ends, and essentially he did. We all, even as much as Mike and I like the film, he definitely messed with the fans. And
Yeah,
but now
he
you're
did.
going to leap into a property that's even more revered than Halloween,
Right.
arguably.
Yes.
Something like that. Too quickly. He did it like almost as an escape, but he escaped to the wrong spot. He should have escaped like back to some kind of indie comedy or like
Something,
a
yeah.
stoner
Yeah.
thing. Like what was the movie with James Franco and all them they did with
Oh,
Your
with the-
Highness or something?
yeah,
I don't even
Your
know what it was
Highness
called.
or- yeah, yeah.
But he should have done something. He should have pivoted for a little bit, given himself a couple breaths, collected
Well,
himself, but he dove right back in.
He did, and I think we were spared another disappointment, to be honest, because once I saw I was one of those folks that went to the Halloween Horror Nights house that was based on Exorcist Believer,
Oh,
where they
okay.
revealed extra characters that were going to be trilogy characters, right?
Oh.
That weren't part
Interesting.
of the first movie.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that is neat.
you can look this up. So I'll give this away. So there's a demon called Lamashtu, right? That's like flashed in Believer, okay?
Yep.
And that's actually the demon in the first movie. Okay, so what the long game of this was let me put it like it's like Jurassic World. You know how they had like the new T-Rex, and we got to bring the old T-Rex to fight
Yes.
the new T-Rex.
Yes.
Yep.
So like Lamashtu is this demon that's a rival to Pazuzu.
Pazuzu,
And so
yeah.
The second movie we're going to bring Pazuzu back because that's actually not Pazuzu, and then third movie is going to be this like T-Rex battle. And when I kind of realized that's where we were going, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'm glad this got canceled because this is even
It's off the rails already, the
worse.
first one.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good.
That's awesome.
Well, Matt, man, that was. So, what's your relationship to the franchise? How far back do you go with the Halloween in general? Like, are you like a really young kid when you see What's your relationship to the
Well,
whole franchise?
I'm one of those kids that grew up on AMC Fear Fest watching
Oh,
the fours and
yes.
fives, the whole deal. Like you guys talk
That's
about that
awesome.
and it took me back. I was born on Halloween and I'm a pastor.
No way.
And you're a
Super
pastor?
funny. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Dude,
amazing.
you're like the
I'm a
devil's son.
pastor that's a fan of this podcast, so I'm happy to answer your questions on that. But anyway, I'm sure there's a lot to come to mind, right? But no, I've
You got
grown
to
up
do an extra
loving-
rosemary tonight.
Hail
know?
Mary,
Yeah.
yeah, extra one.
Yeah, but I've grown up loving Halloween and almost kind of defending Halloween from just weird religious people my whole
Yeah.
life.
Right, right.
And because I don't consider myself a weird religious person, but I don't think most probably do. But anyway, yeah, so I've grown up with the AMC Fear Fest was kind of the first flashes of I think the first one I saw was Halloween 2, the hospital hallways and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just kind of drew me in. And
So cool.
yeah, and I've been drawn in ever since. But again, like finding a new Halloween movie with the producer's cut this year was kind of a little bonus surprise for me because I thought I'd seen them all. And I was like,
So,
oh my
Matt, let me
God.
ask you a serious question here.
Yeah.
Did your finger need a little therapy? Karen could have taken you into that therapy room, no
Oh
doubt.
my gosh. Yeah.
So you
So
would
weird.
think though that you wouldn't have to defend it from religious people because honestly, religious people believe that the devil exists in the modern world and evil can't die. So honestly, really, it really propels that narrative forward anyway. That's what the movie's saying. You can't kill evil. So, and that's what religious people believe. You really can't. You just have to be wary of it,
Right.
And defend yourself against it with faith and and morality.
Yeah,
and
usually it's just not done this poorly, but yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
touche, man, touche.
But I do think the Exorcist Halloween connection between Ends and Exorcist Believer, I feel like people don't connect the dots, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, there's a direct correlation between these two movies, and
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of how people view Ends, the fallout of Ends
Yes.
is something, and again, that's why we're talking about it 2 years later, right?
Yep.
The fallout of Ends is something that
Because
I
we can
think
see it
people-
now, right? We couldn't see it in the moment,
Yes.
but we can now. Yes, like you're saying. That's a
Yeah,
good point.
absolutely, guys.
Yeah.
So awesome. So
That's cool.
thank you guys so much. And,
Oh, you're the best,
hey,
dude.
Matt, happy
I
early
love- I'm just-
birthday, man. What do you do on your birthday on Halloween? That's got to be tricky.
Oh,
Your birthday
bro,
on Halloween.
we take the kids, we do the trick or treating, and
Nice.
then we hang out. It's super fun, and then I stay up late and watch Evil Dead 2 or something.
Yes.
Which,
Oh,
by the
there you
way,
go.
Evil Dead ranking show. Just putting that one out there for you
all
guys.
right,
I love
all
it.
right.
Oh, Evil Dead
Put that
ranking.
out.
I think, did you request that before,
I
Matt?
think that was you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there
yeah.
you go. I remember
So-
seeing that.
So we got to do it
It's
now,
a-
Matt.
I'm such a fan of the franchise because it's so bizarre, but it's
Yeah.
one of the hardest things to rank because the movies are so unbelievable.
Well, would you
wild.
include the TV show in there with the series as well, Ash versus Evil Dead? I mean, how would you
I
even?
think I would. I
Yeah.
think I would.
Because it's so
Yeah,
so
because I
varied.
think
So
it ties up. Yeah, I agree. I think I would, but I would love to hear you guys take on that. But man, hey,
All right, cool.
great show. Love to be
Thank
a
you,
part.
Matt.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Oh, it's a
Appreciate
pleasure,
it,
man.
All right, happy early
Nice speaking
birthday,
with you.
bud.
Happy
Take care.
birthday.
All
Thanks.
right.
Take care.
All right, so Matt, we've got some more discussion to do here. We've got our good friend John from
Oh.
Horror Dad. So
John.
John, should we bring him in? And
Let's bring him in.
Let's see if Jamie's there too. Let's check it out. Here we go. There he is, John.
What's up,
What's
John?
going on?
Hey, and thanks for calling out that you could hear our friend Matt fine, because it was my problem. I had the level down on our board here. So thanks for doing that.
It's no problem. Can you guys hear me okay?
We
Yeah.
can hear you perfectly fine.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect.
So how you doing, buddy?
Oh, so good. And by the way, not Matty, but other Matt, you should have a podcast. You got a great voice, man. Like
He does,
such a
right?
good voice.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and he's a pastor. How cool is that?
He's
How
the
cool would that be, a
coolest dude.
pastor that has a podcast about horror movies?
Yeah.
I mean, there is like 3,000 football field long runway right there.
Seriously, man. There is.
Matt, you should put some consideration into that. That was
That's it.
great
That's
discussion,
it.
man.
Oh my gosh. So, John, it's October, man. It's like you got some like sadness coming, because I started to feel it today a little bit that that Halloween's coming to an end.
Here
you
he
know what I mean?
comes.
Yeah, that's me.
Here it comes.
I'm Mike. I am so with you on this. And I
Yeah,
had a
right?
conversation with my wife tonight and my youngest daughter about how I'm already starting to feel the sads, and I can't believe it's coming. And my wife's like, "What are we talking about? Like Halloween still?" And I was like, "Don't even. Just let me be sad, because I'm already feeling sad." So I'm with you, Mike.
Yeah, I posted a meme today on my personal Instagram account, and it's like Casey Becker like screaming in
Oh, yeah.
and it says
It's
like
that bent
it says
over,
yeah,
like-
and it's like Halloween's like all my friends are saying like, you know, like it's something about Halloween ending in a week or something like that. I'm already feeling this way or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, it was good. So
Yeah.
John, Halloween ends. We did the Halloween ranking with you, but just to kind of put it out there again for everybody checking out the episode, what is your introduction to the Halloween series?
Yeah. So when you asked that question to Matt, this was actually more difficult for me to reflect on, because my real prominent entry to the genre was definitely the Friday the 13th franchise, more than the Halloween franchise.
Okay.
And I will say that I definitely saw them, much like Matt had mentioned, AMC Fear Fest Kid. 4 and 5, I remember, were always the 1-2 punch, and they would like cluster those together, and they'd play them 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, 4-5, like all night. And I just remember that so distinctly, and remember having such affection for that. But my stepmom, when my dad remarried, I was 13 years old, and my stepmom has become one of my best friends on this earth. And I recall she and I so distinctly getting into this franchise together.
That's cool.
In my high school years.
Yeah.
And still to this day. Like, I was over there tonight helping her put a table together before doing this. And while we were doing it, she was like, "You want me to put on H2O?" And we always kind of wait to put on the original till closer to the holy day, for lack of a better term.
Holy
So-
day. Yeah. Matt would like that.
Yeah, but I mean, this has always been a huge part of my life. But I would say that the introduction of a really important person in my life is really what sort of like solidified my affection for the whole franchise.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then how would you rank
The David Gordon Green trilogy.
this trilogy here? How would you rank it?
Yeah. What's hilarious is I was trying to find my notes on how I rank things when we did this last year, and I know that if I did a list today, it would be different. It really truly depends on the day.
Yep.
But for me, for sure, 2018 first, and I want to say I would probably go in order. 18 Kills
Yeah, yeah.
Ends,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not that I don't like ends. This is, the conversation of like, hey, who's your favorite child? But I will say ends just feels really out of place, and I think it would be a really great movie. But it's too heavy for me. Like, I
Yeah.
don't like to be set. Like, the thing that gets me out of bed when it comes to my affection for horror is the fun-loving, the enjoyable, some humor. I don't, follow the genre because I like this is like 3 blocks away from like Vanilla Sky. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's
Like,
a pensive, melancholy indie movie.
yeah.
Which Mike calls it
feels-
like an indie movie. So I agree with that take on it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Maddie, when we were talking earlier, I think I mentioned like this is Nick and Nora's infinite playlist for
Right.
like horror films,
Yeah.
which in its own right is a fantastic thing and it's a great thing. But for me as a person, as an individual, I'm not, totally enthralled and attracted to that when it comes to horror. But when it comes to the pantheon of all Halloween films, definitely this would, fall down on the list because of that
Yeah,
fact.
yeah. People, and just proves how much people are resistant to change in a way. Like it's just so hard to change. People are so, and it's not a knock on anyone. It's just it's we come to expect what we expect from these movies. And I was just at the point where I was so ready when I saw this. Not because I've seen enough of Laurie and Michael. I've seen so much of it that I was like, I was so excited. Here was Michael was still there,
He was.
but they had the sack to do something so different, and I'm like, wow. Like even if you're right, and Matt before you was right too. In that it's not a Halloween movie, and you even what do you call it? What was your subtitle to this? You call it Halloween Ends. What did you call it? The Revenge.
The Revenge of Corey Cunningham.
The Revenge of Corey Cunningham, and that's kind of like a good title for this movie, right? It would have just called it The Revenge of Corey Cunningham instead of calling it a horror Halloween film. Maybe would have.
Right. It's almost like when people talk about Halloween 3, right? It's like
Or
Halloween
the
3.
redemption of Corey Cunningham.
Well,
Almost
yeah, I
would have been
guess.
another take.
Yeah.
Which makes
if
it more
you-
indie.
If
Yeah.
you look at all the parallels with this and Halloween 3, I know there's been so much like dissection on all of this, but even the fact that they used blue
The credit
instead of
sequence.
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Halloween 3 credits.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
like, hey, this is supposed to be, it's the third installment, it's the pattern interrupt, it's the
Yes.
anomaly.
Yep.
Halloween 3 is that one that's like, hey, it's better with age, and people came around to it late. And Mike, I know you've told stories about your relationship with Halloween 3 growing up and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we might be looking at, in the flesh, the thing that has deeper appreciation 15 years from now or whatever it might be.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could definitely happen, John. I feel like people are going to grow to like this film in a way that down the line, almost like Halloween 3, like you said, people are going to say, hey, give this another shot. This actually was a pretty decent film.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Corey and Allison? And is it like,
Yeah. Well, so I do really like Corey's character in general.
Yeah.
On the whole, I think he was really well cast. I think he acts the shit
amazing
out of the
actor?
part.
Oh my God, he's such a good actor.
I just get so confused by his family, and I know we've talked about this and laughed about this a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
this is Haddonfield, Illinois, and like everyone in his circle that's a crony sounds
from
like they're
Brooklyn.
from where you guys are from
Yes.
Jersey.
Yes.
Corey. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell?
I
Why are
know.
there 5 of you that all sound this way? Did you come together?
That is kind of weird. That's
It
like
is.
a poor choice. Like you can't have an actor just be like, "Hey, you're supposed to sound a little more
It's
Midwest."
like the guys in Times Square. Hey, scumbag, and they knock over his radio, and Jason takes him out.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah.
Or even
I don't
like
get
his
that.
uncle, or that's his
Stepdad?
uncle, right? That he lives with.
His stepdad, I think. Yeah.
Stepdad. Like what? You
Yeah,
too, man. Like
Yeah.
But how much? What a left field swing that was. Like he was a nice guy, and he.
Well, I love that guy. I
I
was
mean,
gonna
he's
say,
amazing.
He's the nicest guy in horror because like he's such a sweet guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be nice to Corey,
Yeah.
but like, why is he with
I don't-
Corey's mom?
I have no clue.
She's such a bitch, right? She's awful. What an awful person.
that's
she's not
so
good, not a good
heartbreaking.
person.
And those are the elements of the film. So like you asked about the characters. So to answer the question directly, I really like Corey. I really like Allison, and I like the idea of them trying to find peace
Yeah.
together,
And
I
her just
also like-
letting go. Like,
Right.
Yeah. And but,
everything.
both of them, it's like, hey, we're on the motorcycle now. This is now a beatnik. We're heading to the, we're heading out west. Like let's skive off. Let's get out of town. Like I get that whole thing.
Sure.
But I appreciate their characters individually. I like them together. I like the fact that they're not good together. All of that. It's just I don't like to feel sad on purpose.
Right.
And this movie really it just like tugs at all the heartstrings. It does it so well,
Yeah, you're right. It does.
and it just bums me out. But I love those characters, and it just there's so much like sadness and darkness to this whole landscape. It's like you're working out of a junkyard, so like that in itself, like setting is almost everything, right? When it comes to a lot of us as we interpret films, so you're
Sure.
working out of a junkyard, and it's drab all the time.
But
So
what
there
about
wasn't as
what about
much
the team up kill at that rich guy's house or
Oh
whatever?
yeah,
when they're-
Doctor, whatever his name is.
I mean that bag over the face is one of the most terrifying. I mean,
and
I
I-
saw that. I was like, wow.
Do you know what's so cool about that kill is I saw the behind the scenes of that kill.
My God.
They actually built a full body cast of that guy, and they had like a vacuum in his mouth, so he was like breathing.
Are you kidding me?
So it was like a fake body, and he was breathing. So that way, it was like super realistic,
Oh, man.
which is so cool. I love stuff like that. That's pretty
Yeah.
neat. But that was a great kill. That was good. But that guy was a douchebag. Like everybody was
course.
rooting for
But
him.
it was still just turn your blood cold when you see what he.
I know.
And that's what they do in this movie up until like Corey's confronted with Lori, toward the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, now's your time. Like, yeah, sure, you've done some bad stuff to this point, but none of us feel bad about what you did to this point, right?
Right.
Because everyone was kind of a shitbag.
Yeah.
And now, she lays down the law, and then Corey's smart enough, he solves through it, and he says, all right, I have one play here, and this is it. And so he does what he does.
Yeah.
And again, it's just sad as shit.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
It
just
is.
makes it just like another weight, and I'm like, oh man, this is just, it's so heavy, I feel.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question, because this is a thought I had today as I was kind of reflecting on the 3 films, and especially Halloween Ends. When I think of Halloween, and we've talked about this before, because I said immediately, I want to see more Halloween movies, and you're like, what? Why? It's but I want to see more. When I think of Michael Myers, he doesn't die. So what are your thoughts on him actually, that whole dramatic kill of Laurie slicing his throat, letting him bleed out from his wrists, and then, Allison putting him in the compactor, the whole parade down the screen. Like, to me, it's like, that's what ruined it for me. I would have much rather had Michael Myers escape, and it just like the movie ended, and it's just like, hey, there it is.
Well,
Like,
a writer's going to do what they did with Charles Lee Ray. They're going to put him in the spirit of a doll, and then he'll come back.
a doll.
Oh yeah, hello, Michael. Well,
Wait, let's see if the battery still works. No, it doesn't work.
so Mike, we all know sitting on here that this is like the final chapter. Like it didn't end.
Yeah.
Halloween didn't end. This is just buying time. But by the way, you spoke of the morose and the melancholia of the end of this. But let's remember how this movie really ends is with sunshine and 2 cups of coffee on the front porch with I mean, this is the sunniest ending you possibly.
With some really bad writing.
But I also really don't like the end of Scream 3, which ends, and I do like Scream 3, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's the same deal. It's like there's too much light here. Like there's a middle ground to operate in.
Yeah.
And I feel like they just swung the hell out of the pendulum. And I agree with the writing part. I
Yeah, so
love
bad.
Will Patton too, by the way.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, he's great.
Talk about great voices. He's just got
Yeah.
a great voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man.
But would you guys have liked the movie better if Michael Myers disappeared?
I feel, Maddie, to your point
Yeah.
of do what you do with Charles Lee Ray, like the whole dog and pony, the parade of, okay, we are communally dealing with this problem now and collectively stating that we don't want this to happen anymore. We're going to get rid of it once and for all. We had one person try and fall victim to temptation. He's gone now. So, all right, yeah, it's possible that another could follow, but, we stamped that out sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think the purpose of the end here, though, is to continue to demonstrate that, like, no, there's still susceptibility. It's like a weed. Another one will pop up at some point.
The evil is gone from here.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty wild to think, like, all right, all the evil is bundled into this one specific being, right? And that's, the plan is to get rid of that one being, and once it's gone, it's gone. So I don't know.
You know what they do, John? You know what they're going to do? They're going to slot him in circa 1983 or wherever he was at that point in time. They're just going to go back in the timeline, and they're going to create an alternate 1985. And they're going to go in like Back to the Future went in, and they're going to just slot him in somewhere and do some kind of a new thing. Because Michael Myers can't die. We know this because the dollar signs are way too big.
Oh, they're never gonna kill him off. He's gonna come
No,
back.
and Buster Rhymes will also never die. Let's just say that because he's
He's
going
not
into
dead
the
either.
time machine as well,
It's awesome.
and we're gonna get some roundhouses.
That's good.
We should have. That
Yeah.
should have been the Easter egg.
Yes, that would have been cool if he just pops in.
Like at the end when they're killing him. Let me help you out here. Like he just comes in with a round. Like you said, that would have been great.
That would have been really cool.
So let me ask one quick question to you guys. What do you want to see? And Maddie, I would say a completely acceptable answer to this question would be nothing. But what would be if you had the next iteration? It was in your hands to cultivate the next story or storyline. What would you guys
That's a
do
good
with
question.
It's impossible. For now, I would just want what Halloween 3 did. Just do some kind of a cool movie set in the
Really?
at Halloween time.
But call it Halloween.
Not necessarily. In this universe, I think it needs to lay. I think it needs to lay down.
So
for
you
a
don't
little
want
while.
you don't want Michael Myers for a
I
while.
think it needs to take a Rip Van Winkle slumber
Okay.
for a little while.
See, I'm like completely opposite of you. I want to like come
Like right
back,
now.
just boom.
The same way David Gordon Green jumped off ends right into Exorcist
No,
Believer. Look how that
no.
worked out for him.
Different. No, different.
All
We're
right.
gonna get somebody really, really cool,
Make me a believer.
and we're gonna get somebody awesome. What if Kevin Williamson came back and wrote?
So after Scream, the success of Scream 7 in 2026.
Yes, he's gonna come back and he's gonna resurrect the Halloween series, and he's gonna go back to basics and do.
And he's
going
going to put the pool scene underneath the gym floor the way they were going to do it at H2O at the end.
Yes, yes.
John, you know about that, right?
I do. And,
Yeah.
Oh my God, I need that because
that script is so good. It's cool.
you guys know how much I love H2O.
I can,
Yeah,
I can
H2O
mail
is
that
awesome.
to you, John. I don't have a digital copy of it, but I can mail it to you for sure. I'll
Oh, the
definitely get it to
script?
you. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
the script.
he has the script.
I have
I'll
the
have to meet
I have the
midway.
early drafts of Kevin Williamson's script.
That's incredible.
I'll send it to
We'll
you,
meet
dude.
in like Hershey, Pennsylvania, or something. I think that's halfway.
And you'll read it really quick and be like, "Here,
Yeah.
I'll send it to you, dude. It's not a big deal.
I need 90 minutes.
I can copy it at school, and just
There you
send
go.
you a copy. I'll send you a copy.
I'll send you a copy. Oh
By
my
the way,
God.
John, I had his. It's lucky he has his copy because I hijacked it for about
You
7
did,
years. I
and
had it
you
for
finally-
7 years
yeah,
in
and you
a
finally gave it
plastic
back.
bin in my basement.
I was looking for it. I'm like, where the hell is it? It's
Maddie,
crazy.
by the way, I have been on the hunt, by the way, for you, for another Halloween 2 book that does not have a ripped cover. And that is not easy
That's
to
right.
find.
Your Halloween
yeah,
2 book.
It's not. It's not.
I sold all my novelizations.
You did not.
I did.
The ones we bought at the book pit.
Yeah, I sold them.
Oh, I'm sorry to bring this up. No. What I meant was something else. We don't have to talk about this.
It's gonna be
So
a fight.
John, I told him I got all the new. I got killed 2018 kills and ends all the movie novelizations from Barnes and Noble. They had them in the store.
Have you read them?
I haven't yet. I have them all. I plan on.
I
reading
heard
them.
I heard some funny stuff about ends. That's pretty funny. I heard that somebody's dad is Ben Tramer, which makes no sense.
Oh my! I mean, unless you got pulled into that
Really?
portal that we were talking about.
Well, Ben Tramer's dead, so.
I mean,
But I think was this one ignoring 2? I guess that makes sense then. If this
It's-
one's ignoring 2, then
well,
that makes
the
sense.
first one's supposed to be ignoring 2, so you're assuming the rest of them after them could ignore 2.
Right. So I guess
Right?
if that's the case, then it's okay.
That was the original idea, that this was a direct sequel to the first one.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So
If-
Kills
Yeah,
is an extension
that
of
is
this
the
one, which is
timeline.
so it
yeah,
has to
it's
be.
so weird. Yeah, it's so strange. But anyway.
Even though they tribute the Elrod kill and all the other stuff they do in
Yeah.
2018.
Well, John, your partner in crime, I think, is waiting to jump in. So, do you want us to have him jump in with you, or do you want to give him his own time? It's up to you. I'll give
Oh,
you the.
we'll give him his own time because
All
I'll
right.
just talk. I'll just keep talking until someone turns me off. So
We love it, John. That's what
Well,
we love
John,
about you, John.
Thanks, man. Listen, we hope you have a great Halloween, dude. I hope you enjoy. What's the plan? Going out with the kids and stuff?
Oh yeah, we've got a good plan for this go round. We're going to hit up a new neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Ours is nice, but like way too many hills and large front yards kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
just too spaced out. So
Sure.
we're gonna hit up a more residential feeling sort of space. We've got friends and family friends and whatnot. Everyone's super jazzed. All my kids, I'm like collecting them to like come to Spirit Halloween with us, and like all their parents are like, "Thanks a lot, asshole. Now I got to take my kid to Spirit Halloween again."
John, do you pull the radio flyer with the keg or the coolers and stuff in it?
Dude,
Yeah. Do you drink
Maddie,
and tell?
I'm gonna send you. I have an actual,
I knew this.
actual radio flyer
I
in
knew
my
it.
attic.
I knew
like
it.
a vintage one. So
I believe it.
the
Do you
answer
decorate
is
it?
yes.
Do you decorate it?
Oh, the answer is absolutely yes. I will be
Oh, I
using
love
that
this.
thing, and there will be some Down East ciders in there.
Yeah. I'm drinking Mackenzie's. You ever have Mackenzie's?
Oh, Mike, I thought that when I saw your orange can, I was pumped.
No,
dude.
I
thought we
know.
were-
You know what? I have a whole case of it that's not cold, so that's why I'm drinking the Mackenzie's.
Isn't
tonight.
that
But you ever
strange?
try
Is that strange
Mackenzie's?
brew, Mackenzie?
I haven't. I'll have to try that out.
That is strange brew. So, John, I have one last question before we say goodbye to you.
yeah.
Halloween night, right? You put the kids to bed. You're wrapping up the evening. you lay down or you sit down on the couch, whatever, you're relaxing, you're getting ready to say goodbye to Halloween. What movie do you put on to like go to sleep to?
Your swan song.
To sort of like be like, thank you, Halloween. This was a great year. I'll see you next year. What movie are you putting on Halloween night?
Past 2 years, that's changed because
Okay.
of you guys. Actually, that Midnight Hour that I never
Oh,
knew existed.
that is the perfect movie.
That's a great one. Yeah.
I honestly, I think last year I fell asleep in this chair at my computer. Is that a VHS?
yes.
How'd you get that?
eBay. Yeah, you can find them on eBay.
When you're as obsessed as he is, John, you find a way.
I paid a pretty penny, but yes, I got this on eBay, John. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna pay a pretty penny probably
Right
as
now.
this call
As soon as
continues.
Jamie's talking, you're gonna be like in the chat. You're gonna be like, I got it.
But yeah, that's
So Midnight Hour. What was the other one?
that is a
and
great one.
I mean, typically I'll either wrap up with Trick or Treat or the original Halloween.
yeah, that's great.
Just something very, very of the day centric.
Yeah, I
but
haven't watched Trick or Treat yet. Have you?
No.
I gotta put that on.
I'm
I
gonna put that
also
on
have
too.
not done it yet this year.
Yeah,
I don't know
Halloween
what
3. I've been doing Halloween 3 the last couple of years.
Yeah, I did Halloween 3 last year, I believe. I've already done Halloween 4, so I watched Halloween 2 actually. You'd be proud of me. I put on
I am.
Halloween
I
2.
am proud of you.
Yeah, I put that on before the original. So there
Not
you go.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
No.
No one's
but
doing
anyway.
that.
No.
Maddie.
Ah, there's some people that do that, I'm sure.
Well, John, I hope you get Midnight Hour on VHS. Let us know in the chat if you find it. And yeah, we hope you guys have a great Halloween and your family does well and everybody's doing well. And we love you.
Cheers, John. Everyone here, support Horror Dads. Great
yeah,
podcast.
Horror Dad's awesome podcast. Make sure you check them
Thank
out.
you.
And yeah, you can check out our Halloween ranking episode with these guys. It's super fun.
Oh, there's
When
more
all
to
of us
come.
get
There
in
is more to come.
We definitely got some more episodes with these guys, so it's gonna be awesome. So thanks, John.
Love you guys. Thank
See
you.
you, man.
Take
Love
care,
you too,
bud.
buddy.
See ya. All right, Jamie, are you ready? Let's do it.
Jamie's got a gun. Gonna shoot down Halloween
There
Kills.
he is.
What's up, buddy?
Jamie, what's up, man? Sorry to keep you waiting, bud.
Oh my God! Everybody wanted to hear John talk anyway.
Stop it. Oh, look at your shirt. Look what
Oh, yeah.
shirt Jamie's wearing. The
Oh,
Vincent Drug
James.
Dude, you guys
shirt.
know I had to represent.
That's it, man.
Oh, man.
Appreciate it, dude. That's awesome. Did you get the white or the gray? What'd you
I
get?
did like a cream.
Oh, there you go. You went for
Yeah,
like a
the
vintage
off-white.
cream kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like your setup back there, man.
That's
Look at that,
nice.
Jamie. That's
yeah,
cool,
yeah, yeah.
dude.
You guys can't even see the. Can you see him there? Hold on.
I can kind of see. Yeah, I'm seeing. Oh, I see the I Love
Yeah,
New York, which
oh,
we have hanging
yeah.
right there.
No, the Skelly Bones.
The Skelly Bones. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's
He's got
awesome.
the Halloween Kills mask on.
Does he really?
That's
That's,
a cool
awesome.
mask.
You know what I was saying to Matt? I almost bought the Halloween Ends mask just to have it for this episode to like prop it right in front, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which
But
one?
I
The
couldn't do it.
Scarecrow?
Yeah, the Scarecrow I want.
That
I
one
really
you
do
have
want.
to get.
I want Corey's
That's
mask
so Mike, that
bad.
vintage old
Dude,
school mask.
It is
yeah.
so Mike. I was watching it today and I was like, Mike has to have that.
Yeah,
I'm
seriously.
surprised I haven't ordered it.
Yeah,
You know what?
How did you not?
John's getting the Midnight Hour right now on VHS. While we're talking, I'm gonna order
no, please do. You have to have it.
because it's not that expensive.
Oh,
it's only like
so
14
good.
bucks or something. It's not that expensive. So Jamie from Horror Dads, thanks for joining us. So first thing we've been asking people is just tell us your brief history of Halloween. How'd you get involved in the series? And what was the first movie you saw and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so growing up, much like Matt, I grew up in a religious family. I'm assuming he did, if he's a pastor now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I wasn't super exposed to these movies growing up. It was kind of like what I would catch with my older brothers,
Right.
what they would play and illegally let me watch with them. But growing up, as I got older, I just fell in love with, especially those first two, one
Yeah.
and two, and I never could differentiate them. I never knew which one I was watching.
Oh,
to be
that's
totally
cool.
honest.
So
And
when you
then
say
would-
catch, John, Jamie, do you mean like crabs, or are we talking like movies,
yes,
or what are we
much
talking?
like crabs. Yep. The first time I got crabs was much like the first time I watched Halloween.
I love that though, that he couldn't differentiate between the first two. That's amazing.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they would all, when you're young, they all just kind of blend in together.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. I love that though.
Yep. So how would you rank the David Gordon Green series?
Yeah, so I've been racking my head as you guys
Mm.
are talking about this. So I have to say, I don't know if you guys remember, but my opinion on Ends was that I hated it.
Yes,
we
yes.
remember.
I hated it, and
But I
don't-
also remember you saying something recently that you're reappraising it, and you're like, "Huh, is that true, or did I imagine that?"
No, it is, and I said that as soon as I got out of the theater, I said I hate this, and it's probably going to change in a year or two, because I love having it as part of the pantheon of the series. I love having it. I love having Resurrection. The movie's trash.
Yeah,
but I love having it.
Yeah,
Sure.
So I've really grown to enjoy Ends. I love the whole vibe. to John's point where it's a little bit depressing. I kind of like that. It's kind of
Yeah.
a mix up from
Yeah.
some of those goofier.
It's the A24
But
Halloween.
you know what?
Totally.
It's depressing, but there's something like that makes me happy when I watch it. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but Corey and Allison's romance, there's something so like
Well,
hopeful.
it's
and,
Shakespearean though. It really
it
is.
really is, and that's
'Cause
what
it's tragic.
That's
It's-
what
the
takes it
tragedy is
away
right
from
there.
the dark, and it makes it like, oh, I want these two to make it. You know what I mean?
But they don't, Mike.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Corey
They
kills.
don't.
Corey kills himself.
I know, man. I've seen the movie. But yeah, that's the part that kind of doesn't make it dark for me. I don't know. You know.
Yeah. I love the way Haddonfield looks.
Yeah.
I love that we get to see parts of Haddonfield that we didn't know existed.
Who's in the
You know.
background there, Jamie?
Oh, that's my little my son, Riker.
Hey,
Aw,
what's
what's
up,
up,
buddy?
dude?
How you doing?
They're saying hi.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
Yeah, what's he gonna be for Halloween?
Oh, you guys would love this. I'll have to send you a picture. He's Freddy Krueger.
Yes,
Oh.
dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Freddy Krueger, we love
Yeah,
it.
my little 6-year-old running around.
Oh,
I
that's
love
great.
He's got so what we did for it's not makeup. It's like you know the temporary tattoos that kids get.
Yes. Yes.
It's that.
That's
so
cool.
we were
Jamie, did you ever
scrubbing-
see when I was Freddy the one year? I had like a makeup artist paint on my face, like the scars.
I don't know if I did see that.
I'll send you a picture, but actually, my friend Michelle, who does like makeup and stuff, she did one for our movie that we did, Matt and I did together. But she did a really good job. It's like textured, like painting on there.
Oh wow.
So I'll have to send it to you because like it looked really good. I thought it was kind of fun, and I didn't have to wear a mask, which was great. You know?
yeah,
So,
totally. Yeah.
yeah.
It was funny because he kept it on all day Sunday. So this was Saturday. They had it on for the neighborhood Halloween party.
Yes.
And he kept it on all day Sunday. So he just looked like a boy who had like botulism or something. And then
Parents are whispering.
yeah, right. Like,
I don't think they're taking care of this kid.
hope he's not contagious.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were scrubbing his face just before school on Monday. Like, please.
You're
get
like, we
this
don't
off."
want to get any emails or
Yeah, you're
calls
going
home.
to get DCP and P's
Yeah.
and they calling you any
Oh
day.
my God, could you imagine?
Yeah, the
That's
Center
great.
for Disease Control is at your school.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. That's so great. That's so great. So anything about Ends that like, what was like a part of Ends that you really liked? Like, were there something that just bothered you so much? Like, what was about Ends that sort of stuck with you? Or
So when you say locations, Jamie, you don't mean the radio station, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, the radio station, even the bridge.
Yeah,
the bridge,
Just things that you don't think about that Haddonfield had. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I know that was kind of cool. Well, we know it had a radio station. 'Cause
We
Barry
did, but
Sims.
we didn't know it looked that cool though.
No,
But you do see it in Kills, though.
That's true.
When they step out of the bar in the beginning, when Anthony
yes,
Michael,
they're right there.
Yeah, you
Yep.
do. There, it's right.
Yeah.
It's right behind them, though.
So I
You see
guess
the
it's
distance.
kind of a continuation
the
of what
continu-
they already show us. Yeah,
Yes.
right. Which
Yeah,
they should have
definitely.
just had, like Mike was saying earlier, they should have had Corey Cunningham do a little continuity in Kills and just
totally. Yeah,
Right.
I would love to find out that how like in Kills you find out that couple dressed like the nurse and the doctor, you find out that they were the neighbors there in 2018. It would
Yes.
be really cool to just throw.
But
Just
you know
to
what
find
you
out
do-
Corey was in that bar or something. In
Yeah,
Kills.
yeah, yeah.
You know what you do find out, and I realized this after rewatching the series, the couple comments on the doctor from Ends while they're in the bar.
Yeah.
She says like he was inappropriate or something. He's like, I'm gonna go in there and say something. They're talking about that doctor
Yes.
from Ends, which
Yes.
is kind of cool. So
Wow,
there's a
that is
connection
cool.
there.
That's
but,
true.
But
Oh
how
my
cool would it
God.
be if Corey was
The
in
rich guy
background?
that's plastic bag over his
Yes,
head. Yeah.
But
Oh,
how cool?
man.
How do you feel about Jamie if they introduced Corey like before? Like, don't you think like in 18 or Ends, like I mean Kills, it would have been so much better if Corey was a character that sort of like popped up somewhere?
Absolutely, because it happened in 2019.
Yeah.
So I guess it could have been for Kills, right? I think they probably show us that it was 2019 on purpose,
Right.
So that we know that he wasn't in 2018 or Kills, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They could have had him in the hospital. I'm telling you, there could have been a longing scene where they were in the hallway together or something. They noticed each other. They were attracted to each other or something.
Yeah. I
Where
would
all
love
the
that.
Evil Dies Tonight stuff's going on around them. They just kind of like melting into each other's eyes or
Right.
something.
Right. Yeah. What else?
yeah.
I see your son's dropping a mask on your head. That's great. Which mask is that?
That's the Kills mask.
Oh, it is the Kills
yeah,
mask.
Nice.
for 2018, the end of 2018, beginning of Kills.
Yeah. I
Right,
guess,
right.
Yeah.
Because it's like half burnt.
yes,
Right.
the transition mask. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say ranking wise, it's hard because I don't necessarily love any of them. But 2018, and then I would go Ends and then Kills.
Oh, okay.
That's
So you're
mine.
right.
You're with
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with
there
you,
you go.
Maddie.
Good.
Only because I just hate the Halloween Dies Tonight. I hate the
Evil
hospital
Dies
scene.
Tonight.
Evil
ruined it
Dies
for- like-
Tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, evil. Sorry. I
And
just
with the
hate-
other escaped criminal guy jumping out the window and all that wacky melodrama.
Oh my god!
It's like a
dude.
soap opera.
And the hospital it ruins everything that we all loved about the Halloween or the hospital in Halloween 2, which is a dark, kind of spooky, desolate, isolated environment. And you bring us into this too well lit hospital with way too many people. It looked like a line for an amusement park roller coaster. Or something.
Oh yeah.
With
It was
Sheriff
absurd.
Brackett? What?
Yeah, dude.
Brackett was.
And James, the worst part is nobody's finger got any therapy.
Couldn't they have gone down in the water therapy room and
I mean, I guess if they left the door open, they could hear a baby crying.
something. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So Jamie, what do you do for Halloween? I know obviously you'll be trick or treating with the kids and all that stuff. But
yeah, of course. So our neighborhood, opposite of John's, our neighborhood is built for Halloween. It's a lot like
Nice.
the Burbs in my neighborhood, where it's
that's
like
great. It's all tight
cul-de-sac.
houses and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everyone's friends. We have like 30 kids, way too many kids. But we always set up like a table outside in our front yard. I have one of those little solo stoves that I get going with. Have a little fire and a table with snacks and
I
of
love
course some adult beverages. That's great.
That's awesome. I love it. That's so cool. That's great. That's gonna be super fun. So same question that I asked John. End of the night, you're settling down. The kids are in bed. What movie are you putting on to sort of say goodbye to Halloween for this year?
It's almost always H2O.
H2O.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
just I love that movie so much. I love them all. But that one is kind of like I hate to see it go. I don't.
Yeah.
I think it might just be because I play all the other ones out so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Is that
I
the
love
first
ending my
movie you
season.
saw in theaters?
H2O?
Yeah. No, it was Resurrection, wasn't it?
No, it was actually I think 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
So James, real quick,
Yeah.
did you know Bob Weinstein
Ugh.
was actually? I know it's a dirty word,
Ugh.
but he was pushing for an Oscar. Quentin Tarantino kept bothering Bob Weinstein to get Jamie an Oscar nomination for H2O. I heard
did not know.
Tarantino talking about that on a podcast
Really?
somewhere. Yeah, I think he was telling. I don't know if it was. I forget whose podcast it was, but it was maybe it's Bill Maher, or he showed up on the podcast and he was chatting and he talked they got him talking. You know, he talks a mile a minute about everything. But he mentioned that fact that he kept saying to Bob Weinstein, "She's so amazing in this movie. Like her acting is just so ridiculous. Like she should get an Oscar nomination." But Bob Weinstein wouldn't do it. But
He's a prick.
yeah, I know.
It really is. And he's got cancer now, right? Isn't he have bone cancer or something?
Are we talking about Harvey or
Harvey?
yeah? Well, Bob was the producer. That's
Oh,
why there
Bob.
was-
I'm sorry. Harvey. I read. Yeah. That's crazy. Well, Jamie, thanks so much for joining us. Hope you guys have a great Halloween with your family and stuff. And I can't wait to do another episode with you guys. We got to come up with another one. You know, it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, we all love you guys. Everybody does, and I appreciate you guys having us on here. It was awesome.
Dude, right back at you, man.
And
You're the best.
great episode, by the way. You interviewed one of the creators of House's October Build. I just listened to the episode, and I had to go back and rewatch. And I jumped on Shudder to watch that. It's almost like the producer's cut, right? Of that movie, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I haven't finished that movie yet, but I started watching it. And I'm super excited. But you guys always do a great interview with the people you have on. So
good.
everyone check out that episode.
We
for
appreciate
sure.
that. One last thing, I have to point this out. So I just got a VHS player.
Yeah.
I just jumped on that train. I've been avoiding it. But I went to, we have a record store, VHS store nearby.
Oh,
I picked up Halloween 6,
yes.
and it's the
Wait, you got the demo tape.
it's the demo tape, dude.
I have that
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
I think I have that. No, maybe I don't. No, I don't. I have another version.
No, the faculty or something. You have a demo
Faculty- Oh,
tape.
there's the faculty.
The faculty's a
demo tape.
demo tape.
The
yeah.
demo tapes are so cool. Like I
Dude,
love those because
It
it's
really,
like
it's amazing. Yeah.
because you know that this was sent to some like mom and pop video store. Like, hey, buy a bunch of copies of this for your store. That is like so cool.
Exactly.
You know? I
yeah.
love
Just
that.
the
That's
nostalgia and the piece of history that you have. It's amazing. Yeah.
That's
Oh
the first
my
one you
God.
bought?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I
great.
bought
That's
this and
great.
the Omen together.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now you got to get
Yeah.
H2O.
You're in trouble,
Dude, I know.
You're in
I
trouble
know.
because
I know.
I went down this rabbit hole, and Matt will know.
I have not.
I texted Matt. I'm like, Matt, I got this movie. I got that movie. It's crazy because in your head you're like, oh, it's not that expensive, and then you're gonna have like 200 tapes, and you're gonna be like, what the fuck did I just do? So,
I'm not doing it, Jamie.
Then I'll need a new storage rack. Maddie, come on.
No, I
but
can't
look
do
how
it.
good they look behind us here, Matt. Come on, this
Can't do
is-
it.
I'm going to be outbidding John for the witching hour later.
I know.
tonight on eBay.
Yeah, the midnight hour. You better get on there and do it. You better. He's probably bidding right now. Imagine. Who's someone outbid me? Be like, hey, John, look what I just got. He's gonna be so pissed. I love it.
All right, well, you guys are the best. Thanks
All
again.
right, happy
Thanks, buddy.
Halloween,
Love you,
Jamie.
God.
Love you, bud.
You too, guys.
All right, take care. All right, so we're waiting to see if anybody else wants to jump in. I know, if you want to text Cammy and whoever else was supposed to join us, we'd love to have a couple more people on before we call this a wraps. But as Matt is texting, I'll just say a few things about Halloween Ends as we're continuing to talk about this. It's interesting. Like when I first saw this movie, I had weird feelings about it. I wasn't sure if I liked it or not, but it grew on me, and I kind of walked away texting Matt like, what is this film? I kind of like it and I'm kind of into it. And this year I was like so excited to put it on. Like I was really excited to watch it, which is weird.
I know.
It's very strange to have that feeling. But it's a part of me now. It's something about it. And like you said, I'm going to have to get that Scarecrow mask. I got to order
Listen,
that. Matt, you're devouring these
si-
candy corns.
I'm
by the
sorry.
way.
It's like
Dude, you got all these peanut butter cups here. You haven't even touched them, dude.
I
What's
might
going
not.
on?
I might not even be able to.
Dude,
touch
you're
them, 'cause I had
like
about
you were
70
reaching up
candy
front.
corn.
We had decorative candy corn in the front. Matt was they were there for show, and Matt like pretty much killed them. They're great. I see some more, Matt. If you want more,
Halloween killed them, all of them.
you did. You Corey Cunningham them. Can
Oh
we
my
talk about a
God.
few things about Halloween Ends while we're waiting to see if anybody jumps in? The correlation to Halloween Ends and Christine is so obvious. There are so many correlations and things that are used to. What is this? What do we got? I will jump in. Okay, so I'm going to send Peter an email here. So Matt, let's talk about what?
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay.
So Christine.
Yeah, please.
So we know that this movie was influenced by Christine. So while I'm sending this email out, Matt, you gotta talk for a second. Hold on, I can only do one thing at a time.
John
Matt.
Keller on there too.
I sent him the email. John, check your email. All right, so let me email this.
He said he's in there already. John's another dude named John in the chat said he's ready.
Okay, so all you got to do is click the request to join the chat, guys. Once you click in there. So let me send Peter, our good buddy Peter. Peter Sudol. Here we go. Link. And there we go.
Cammy's trying to get it.
You're
Cammy's
killing
trying
me.
to get
Cammy, we emailed it to you.
An email question mark.
Yeah. So Christine, right?
Yes.
One thing I noticed today, besides there's the obvious things, the auto shop, right?
Yep.
The last name, Cunningham.
Cunningham.
Corey almost looks like Arnie at the beginning, and he transforms
Because he has the
into-
glasses and
Yes. And he
nerdish-
transforms into a killer, right? Or a bad person.
True. Yeah.
Right? His mom is like a bitch, like
Not a nice person.
Arnie's mom is a bitch.
True. Doesn't let him have the double word score or triple word score.
No, the bullies, not only the fact that there's bullies, which are band kids, which we never really talked about, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But the fact that they go to the auto yard to destroy his bike, like the bullies go to destroy
Wow, Mike,
Christine.
you're convincing here. It's a lot of parallels.
Anything else that you can think of?
No, but that's a lot of parallels right there that I wouldn't have thought of.
There's probably more that I know I took notes on it, but I'm just so distracted right now by worrying about people getting in here. So I can't think of it, but there's something about that that's kind of cool. Like some people were like, that's stupid. You know what I mean? But I really like the Christine.
I think it's kind of cool. I
Parallels.
definitely didn't see all of that. So it's interesting to bring that up.
Wow. That's pretty cool. I'm going to email Cammy again, I guess, because I emailed it.
Do you want to let is John Keller in there?
No, you got guys, when you get in, you have to request to join. Like you have to click on the link and click request to join. So let's see. I'm going to look in the chat here. Let's see if people are commenting. I'm trying to get in, guys. Okay. Well, Cammy, I don't know what to tell you. Let's see.
You sent it?
Well, I sent it a while ago, but I can send it to Cammy again.
Okay.
And John Keller, let's see.
So Mike, what about the Midnight Monster Hop?
Oh, what a
I mean,
great.
I figured something out today though. I was listening to it today. And I hear when you have the chorus that goes, wooey, Jewy, in the Midnight Monster Hop. To me, dude, the train, do you ever hear Train Kept Rolling by Aerosmith?
Yeah, of course.
He goes, I'm in heat, I'm in love, but I just can't tell her so. At the Midnight Monsters.
Yes.
It's very much melodically aligned
Right.
to the Midnight Monster.
Yeah.
But it just hit me today. I'm like, oh my God, these two songs are completely like on opposite
Of
ends
course.
of the universe.
And decades too. Like,
But
it's crazy.
melodically and
Yeah.
and the notes
Yeah.
and the melody and the way the melody goes. It's very
Oh,
similar.
that's interesting. I never even thought about
and I
that.
just couldn't tell us so at the
Yeah.
midnight monster.
Well, it's got that
Wow.
rhythmic
The,
sort
ry-
of,
the way
yeah.
the rhythm flows, the way the notes are, it's pretty close.
All right. Well, our good friend Cammie, who was just on our Patreon episode, one of our Patreon supporters, is ready to join. Matt, you ready to jump to Cammie? Let's
Let's
talk
do
with one
it.
of our best friends here on, let's see. Here she is.
Cammie!
Hi. She's staring at us like, what?
Oh man, we gave you a stereo Cammie cheer.
Yeah, and she's not even
Give me a
reacting.
C. Give me an A.
Look, she's Cammie, can you hear us? Hello? Yep.
Hey,
Oh, there she
Hey.
is. All right. How you doing, Cammie?
can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you. Yeah. Speak up, my
I
friend.
know.
How are you? Are we frozen or something, or what's going on?
I can hear you.
Good. All right, great. So, Cammie, you've been a listener to us for a really long time.
Fabulous.
Yes, and you were just on one of our Patreon episodes.
You were.
Which was super fun. Horror Staying Power. How did you get involved in the Halloween franchise?
It's like the playback's off. This is bizarre.
Oh, is it like delayed or something? I apologize. So we'll let you speak then. So just tell us how'd you get involved in the Halloween franchise?
Halloween.
It's you're delayed? Maybe that's the problem. So is your speaker on? Like maybe your volume's up too loud or something and it's like playing back? I don't know.
I got involved. It was one of those films that. Yes.
I don't know what to do. I feel like every time I talk, I'm screwing you up, but I just sit here like patiently. How about Cammie, leave and come back in, and we'll see if it gets any better. Okay. Try again. Let's try again. We're gonna remove you. You're gonna jump back in. All right. So let's see. John, did you hear from John and you wanted to jump in?
John, actually, the other John.
Oh, Peter Sudol's here. Here we
Okay.
go. Peter.
Fellas, what's going on?
Yo,
How you
Peter.
doing, bud?
I'm clearing my screen because the oil's off my face. And
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
what's
So
going on?
Peter,
guys?
how you doing? You walking the dog while you're on the podcast with us? That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no. I'm actually. I live in a van down by the river.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just. Hold on, wait.
Or do you live in a sewer down by the river like Michael Myers in Halloween Ends?
You know what? Guys, I have a confession.
You've never seen
I walked
Halloween
out of
Ends?
that movie.
You
Walked out.
Walked out of
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Well, that's all right. That's
Yeah.
why we're here tonight.
Wait, when did you walk out?
Yeah. What scene? What was it where you were like, forget this?
Or
I'm
what had
gone?
just happened that made you walk out?
Okay. The kid.
When he's yelling at Michael Myers inside the thing?
You know what it was? I was waiting for again. So this is why I love your podcast, guys. Is the fact that when like you both have this incredible rapport. Like you guys are like brothers, right? And my cousin Stosh, in the last couple of years, it's been a little rough, but he was supposed to come and see this movie with me, and I remember just stewing. It was actually more personal, so I was stewing. I'm like, where is he? Where's my buddy? It's like Mike and Matt make an appointment to go see this movie, and then all of a sudden,
Maddie flakes out because Mike wouldn't. Maddie would.
So yeah. Anyway, but that being said, I got to give it another listen. When I heard that you guys were doing this episode, I was like, this is great because, and I was thinking about this the last couple of days, where it's like, we were so happy to know that John Carpenter was coming back, right?
Yeah.
And we have all these expectations, right? We're like, this is going to be fucking incredible.
Peter, what are you doing?
He's going to the catacombs.
You're like
He's opening and closing 900
right.
doors. He's in Fort
yeah.
Knox.
This is like he's like
He's going to show us the gold room.
Right.
Yes. One of my favorite pieces I just got framed not too long ago.
All right,
look
cool.
at that. That's awesome.
That's very cool.
Okay. All right.
So did
Yeah,
you
no,
say when you walked out of the movie? Because I don't think we got an answer. When
Yeah,
did you walk out?
What part did you walk out on?
Yeah, I
after?
think it was in the first 20 minutes, guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you didn't even see Michael Myers? Because he's 40 minutes in. So you didn't even see him?
No.
Wow,
Okay.
dude. That's amazing.
I'm terrible. I'm a terrible fan.
No,
No.
you're not. You're not.
You got pissed.
Honestly,
You
a lot of
did
people
what you had to
got
do.
upset. So, and what made you walk out? Just because Michael wasn't in it, and you were like, "This is bullshit. Like, I don't want to be here for this."
I didn't sign on for this.
You know, I think it was just even after the second one, evil dies tonight. That whole thing.
Yes. Well, that drove me nuts. Matt's taking more.
Did you
candy
walk
corn.
out of Halloween Kills too?
I don't think he did.
No. The first two I enjoyed.
Okay.
Enjoyed it, but it was like, you know what it is? It was like the fact that you knew, like, it was like, holy fucking shit, they're bringing back Carpenter. Blumhouse is doing this, right?
Yeah.
But again, I do, and again, Maddie, we spoke a few days ago. I was like, I wanted to do this, and I was like, but you know what? It's like, and I love that you guys called it like an appraisal of it. It's like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we got to figure out, like, it was so close together. And I'll again, the videos you guys posted of when right after, like your reaction.
Oh, for Kills,
Yes,
yeah.
For Kills, yeah. We had
That
the
was
whole
awesome.
thing. That was so funny.
Yeah, that was a visceral reaction.
So how would you rank, Peter? How would you rank the series here, this Blumhouse series that
The
David
trilogy,
Gordon Green, the
yeah.
trilogy?
Well, I would say it's a lot better than Rob Zombie's entries. No,
Sure, I
but
would say that too.
you know what? I have to go back and look at it. But right
Would you
now,
go in order?
Well, you might, because Ends we know is your last one because you walked out, so you haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
But
No, but I love the fact I did like the 2018. Like, and I think about it, but again, I'm just not. I need to sit and watch it again because I haven't seen it since the theaters.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like you should watch Ends just to kind of
you should.
have a solid opinion and either come back to us and say, hey, I really still hated it, or
Yeah.
hey, wait, I have a new appreciation for it now. I can kind of see what they were going for, and you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I think you should watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe just to get like a real opinion on it, because without seeing it, it's kind of hard to have a full opinion. You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't like Corey at all. You weren't into that.
I can't even recall what your Corey.
Corey, the main
character
of the
the
movie,
character
really.
at the beginning.
He's
that
babysitting the
he's
kid.
babysitting the kid, and the kid falls and
To his death,
splats.
yeah.
And
Oh,
then,
Yeah, guys, I'm terrible.
He walked out before that.
yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I walked out early. Like, again, it was
2
just,
minutes in.
Peter, why are you here?
that's exactly it. I was like, let me say hi.
He's got nothing to comment on. Yeah, no, that's fine. It's totally fine. I get it, because a lot of people were so pissed off. and I
You
could see-
represented part of the population for sure.
Who were you with? You were with your cousin, you said, or?
Well, again, so I grew up in Wallington, New Jersey, and like every year, and like, I mean, we would watch horror movies for fun, and like my cousin Stosh didn't show up. He said I'm gonna see it, and we're meeting up in Paramus, and that shit kind of hit me hard because it was like that's my brother. I love him, and we're supposed to watch this.
And he
together.
flaked. Yeah. So you're already in a bad mood.
So
Yeah.
bad, that shit hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
You were wounded. You were a wounded lover.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Well, listen, we love you, buddy.
we love you, man. So, what are you doing for Halloween? You're a new dad. So, what's your son dressing as this year?
Thank you. Perfect segue. Last year was the greatest Halloween of my whole entire life.
Oh,
Luca had his first, like, he dressed up as a fireman, and
that's cute.
and he knew right away, like, so like I'm being like the very vigilant dad, flashlight, like wearing my no way, I don't have it. It was like I'm soaking in this moment with my son, and just seeing him like register. He's like, okay, the kids are walking up, like he has this little plastic pumpkin,
Oh,
and then he literally registered it, and then he's like, oh shit, guys. Oh,
No.
fuck.
no, we're good. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
I had a countdown on my screen. So yeah, no, just him being able to run up and like literally see him run up and like the kids, all the kids
joy,
are
right?
back,
It's so
and
cute.
runs up and he knew what the task was. And
It's like Jamie in Halloween 4.
Yeah.
When she's so excited about trick or treating.
it's crazy how the movies now. like,
Luca's an orphan.
Aw.
No.
So what is he being this year? What is he being this year, bud?
We're still trying to figure that out.
Oh, we
all
don't.
right.
Oh, it's gonna be a last minute decision. There you go. Well, that's exciting.
But it's yeah, it's just funny. Like even the movies, like things that I see, and now I'm like, how I look at it, I'm like, oh shit. Like I'm as a dad now, I'm like,
Yeah,
but
I know.
He should be the little teddy bear from Imaginary.
Good. Yeah,
That'd be a good little
something like
gateway
that.
costume.
Yeah, he could be a little Michael Myers. No, I'm just kidding.
Something chick
Too
Carly
early.
Beth from the Haunted Mask or something from
Oh,
Goosebumps.
there you go. Goosebumps. That'd be cool. I like that. That'd be good.
what did you guys what do you guys got planned for Halloween this year?
This year, I'll be just handing out. We're in a new house, Peter. So we moved, as
You're
you
having
know.
a party this weekend.
So I'm having a party this
Yes.
weekend, which is fun. And then I'll just be on actual Halloween. I'll be just handing out candy. You know what I mean? I'll just be testing out. I don't know how many trick-or-treaters I'm going to get. I only live right down the street from my house, but
Right.
I don't know what it's going to be like for me. So this will be the first year I'll kind of get a gauge of how many trick-or-treaters I'll be doing. And Matt, you'll be doing something
Yeah,
similar.
probably, yeah. Be doing the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, and you get a good amount.
Oh
and
my
you're-
gosh,
yeah.
so many.
So that's awesome. Well, Peter, we're going to let you go because Cammie is waiting again to jump back in. Hopefully her audio issues are gone, but happy Halloween to you, buddy. We miss you. Okay?
Guys, always a pleasure. Listen,
Go see
I'll-
Halloween Ends and let us know what you think.
literally I'm gonna rewatch the whole series again. But
Yeah.
I live in a van down by the river. I'm working on building my house right now. So
So there you go. You're in a mess right now, but that's okay.
yeah, in transition.
Yeah.
All right,
there
be
you
well,
go.
buddy. Best
All
to
right,
Luca.
Take
Send him
care,
my
you
buddy.
guys.
See you, man. Take
Yeah.
care, bud.
See you, buddy.
All right, Cammie. Let's hope that Cammie has better luck this time. So let's get her in here, and then hopefully we can wrap this episode up. Unless we get some other people to join us. So let's see, Cammie. There you are.
Cammie.
Hi.
Is the audio better now, or
I hear you guys fine. Do you hear me?
I hear you
Yep.
perfectly? All right, so let's try this again, Cammie. How did you get involved in the Halloween series?
Halloween is a hard one. I think it was one of those ones because I'm old enough that it was like, do you dare watch this? And, you know, and I remember just being scared to death. But Michael Myers is my first love. I don't remember specifically the first time I saw it, unfortunately, but I do remember always just, it meant Halloween, which is, you know, defines me,
Yeah,
basically.
you're like
And
you're like the girl who calls in Halloween 6 on the radio show, and she's
Yes,
like,
Barry Sims' show.
I just want to be with Michael. That's you, Cammie.
Yeah. I'm like, if he was in prison, I'd be writing him letters, you know?
Oh my God, could you imagine you'd be that girl? Oh jeez.
I'm just, no, I would not. I joke around about that, but of the original like 80s, those guys, he's my guy. But I remember when I got divorced and I had my own place and I had a cat. And I remember even then, like in my late 20s, going, you know what? I'm going to watch Halloween by myself in this house with no one else and, a glass of wine and see if I can be brave enough to like go to bed. And even then, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was still scared of it then. It
So
doesn't scare me as much.
So, Cammie, if we're talking about being effed by Freddy, mauled by Michael, or violated by Voorhees, you're going mauled by Michael. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So that sounds like a good plan. Good.
I have never heard that before.
Well,
Neither is
Matt.
Mike.
Matt. I'm just looking at you like, what the hell? Who am I sitting with right now? Cammie, should I be scared? Cammie, can you come help me?
You know what? I've talked to you guys enough that he's got those left fields. Coming,
Nothing
and
surprises you
he's
with Matt.
one of
Yeah.
them.
Trust me, I feel the
love
same
it.
way.
I love it. That's part of the guys.
Right back
that's
at you,
part of
Cammie. Thanks for understanding
So,
me.
Cammie, how would you rate the David Gordon Green series? Like, out of the 3
Well, I'm
films?
wearing. It's funny. I bought this shirt way before.
Oh, look
I
at
saw
you
it.
that's
representing
awesome.
Halloween
Yeah.
Ends T-shirt.
Beautiful.
Is that the
Yeah,
Trick or
it's
Treat
actually-
That is
Studios
a-
one?
Is that the Fright Rags?
I can't remember it. I'd have to look.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I
So
cannot
good.
remember.
That's a great shirt.
But I was making dinner as I was listening to you guys. I'm like, I gotta get on. I gotta get on. So I'm like going through my closet. I'm like, I gotta pull that one out. I'm gonna rank. You know what? I hated so much Halloween Kills because I hated Evil Dies Tonight. I hated
Yeah.
the chant. I hated
Right.
the hospital. But if you take the hospital out, and I love Big John and Little John so much.
Yeah, me too.
So
like
I
them.
think I'm putting that one first because of that. Minus Evil Dies Tonight. I liked the bar scene, bringing all the old player. Oh, why are
Yeah.
names escaping?
Marion, yep.
Yep.
Marion
Like
Chambers.
everyone's in the bar and everything. I love that scene. I love that they're in the house. The Big John and Little John. I love all that. So that's probably my first. Then it's 18, and then Halloween Ends. I actually have it on right here next to me because I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just put it on and
There you
fine.
go.
Cool,
Look at you. You're
nice.
watching the
Look at
movie as we
this.
talk. That's great.
I just remember thinking, okay, this, and like a lot of people have said, I will echo, it doesn't, one of these things isn't like the other. And maybe it is supposed to be like the Halloween 3, and that's like, deep fandom, like the nod that, hey, if you're really a fan, you'll understand this kind of thing. And I can get on that train, but I hate him. I know you guys were talking earlier about how you loved him and Allison. I'm not there. I was
Really?
just like, I hate you. You're so annoying.
Wow.
In
okay,
real
cool.
life,
Wow.
I couldn't suspend my disbelief because I'm like, there's no way she's hooking up with this guy. There's no way. He's
Was it the
an
way he
idiot.
looked, or was it just the way he?
No, it
his
wasn't his
character?
looks. He was whiny and he was like,
Oh, so it's like a Woody
Really?
Allen character in a Michael
He
Myers
was
movie.
ick.
Wow.
Yeah, he was so icky. He wasn't scary. Just because you're psycho doesn't mean you're scary. And he wasn't scary to me. He was icky to me. Now I
See,
will give it another.
I have
another-
like a boy crush on him. Like I really like that actor. I think he's like really really talented, and I don't know. I think he's cool.
There's a
Like,
gleam in Mike's eye. You can't see, Kemi. You got to be here live
Well,
to
you know
see
what? Mike, you have made my jaw drop lots in the last month since our last conversation. But you know what? It's intrigue. Keep the people guessing. And
Yeah.
so I'm here for that. I never
Yeah.
would have guessed that. I don't know. I don't think he's a bad actor. It's not the acting.
He's a great
It's
actor,
just the character.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, it makes my skin crawl.
I don't know.
I like that. That's a different take on it. We haven't heard that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I think there are other
And I
people that.
hated
Yeah,
And she's a
Allison.
woman, so I like
you
that
hated
take.
Allison too.
What?
No. I hated Alice. I love Alice.
Oh, for
I love her
submitting to him,
character.
for being into him, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yes. I'm like, honey, you can do so much better.
I got
it's
it,
time
yeah.
to level up. Level up.
Level
Yeah.
up.
So, Kami, we didn't talk about this, but this is a perfect time to talk about it. Were you kind of blown away by Allison's like ready to go? Like as soon as she met Corey, she's like, let's get together. She was like ready to like jump.
Leave town with him, like
Oh, she was ready to just
Yeah.
hop on and like go for a ride with Corey. Like she was ready
cool
to go.
rider, baby.
She was ready
Grease
to
too. She's ready to
Yeah.
be Michelle Pfeiffer in Grease.
She's ready to strip
Grease too.
down and just get to town. You know what I mean? She's
Listen, Corey's no Adrian's med. We know
is
this.
she the horniest girl in horror?
But she was
Well,
look at their scumbag boyfriend. He
Well, yeah, that cop was a real dick. But yeah, she
no
was,
him. But what about Lonnie Elam, the Elam kid?
Yeah.
Right?
That's
She
true.
was dating
Oh
him.
yeah, from 2018.
From 18 and
yeah,
the
he was a
beginning-
prick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got screwed over by everybody.
But he in Kills though, he was there for her. Like he was on board. He
He was
there
trying to
with
redeem
everyone.
himself because in the first frame of the movie begins. I don't know if you remember. Kills starts with him on the phone calling his friend who's hung on a fence. Little does he know.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
he sees the officer Hawkins in the road, stabbed, then goes and helps him and calls whatever.
Yeah.
So it starts with him. So I guess they do want you to have a little bit of sympathy for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to
Yeah.
make a comeback. It's just once she meets Corey, it's just all over, and you don't buy that for a second.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty
I
crazy.
don't, but you know what? We as females, we can, we go for, and he's not even okay. I'm gonna retract because he's not even the bad boy. Like he's not even a bad boy. He's just
Yeah.
a doofus.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I
Girls
just
do go
could
for
not
bad.
find-
You admit that, Cammy, though. Girls are into bad boys. I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah, especially at that age, for sure. And then you grow up and go, I don't want a bad boy. I want a dude with a job.
Right. Yeah. I want a nice guy with a job. Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
responsible. Yep.
Yes, responsible. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Take me for a ride, but then drop me off back at my house where I can have my responsibilities.
Yeah, well, that's
That's right.
interesting, Cammy. That's so funny. That's like such an interesting take from a female to be like,
I love that.
I wasn't into him. Hey, I appreciate it because in my mind, I'm
He's
like,
the in though. But you would, from her point of view, you can't possibly be into this movie if you don't buy his character.
well, that's true. I can see that. Yeah, if you're not into it, yeah.
and if your whole time you're yelling at Arlison, dude, get at him, get away from him. He's not,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was yelling a lot at her about that because I was just like, honey, you can do so much better. And I was on board with, with Lori going, what are you doing with this guy? And once you start dating someone
Yeah.
and your personality does a 180, that's a red flag.
Oh, yeah.
And so when she starts acting weird and being so disrespectful to her grandmother and all those things, I'm just like, honey.
Yeah. I know.
He's not the one for you. He's leading you down a path you don't want to go down.
So, was there anything about ends that you did like, or you thought was interesting, or kind of cool that they did?
No, I
in the
did.
series?
I did like it. Yeah. I just didn't love him, but there were parts of it I loved. I actually liked the ceremony
At the
like,
end. Oh,
her
so we differ there.
I liked Michael in the kitchen with her. I liked how it was just like balls to the wall. I felt like I liked that scene. And there was something about the whole village, it gave like callback to old like Frankenstein kind of the whole village getting involved, taking down the bad guy together kind of thing. So I didn't hate that.
Right.
Other than I was like, does this mean there won't be any more?
Yeah, I was just sitting there in the theater and I was hoping they'd do like a slow motion and Corey would just turn to her and be like, I've been waiting for a girl like you. I was like so waiting for that moment where it's just cheesy and her hair's blowing back from this wind from nowhere on the back of his car. Just like, I was just waiting for that scene. If they're gonna go, just go all the way.
So I just figured out how to add things from the chat. So
there you go.
So John Kelleher just said your T-shirt's from Fright Rags.
Definitely,
he knew
I
it.
thought
Oh,
that's really nice.
Thank
That's a
you.
great shirt.
So next time we do a live
Hey.
stream, I will have this together because I was like panicking. at
well, it's the
beginning of
first
this
time,
episode.
so
Yeah, yeah, hey.
we're learning together.
But this is great.
Yeah,
This is super
it was I thought I'm like, how am I going to get on there from YouTube? And I'm like, this is way above my pay grade. I don't know how
fun. Well,
many it
yeah,
is.
yeah, you're getting through the back end here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you think about Lori in this movie?
I liked her. I when I heard you guys earlier talking about how this seems like more who she really is,
yeah.
and that was more authentic. I definitely agree with that. I think that but I love too because she's still showing that trauma, but in the kitchen and she's like, you know what? I have to normalize. I have to do something that is important to me. I have to be. I have to get back because with trauma, sometimes the best thing you can do is get back into a rhythm and find that mundanity of life that
Sure.
makes, that every single day you got to get up, you got to do these 10 things. It's this holiday, you got to put the tree up, you got to you got to carve the pumpkin and make the pie. So I think that I loved that part of her, and I loved that she had that little. She still has the edge, but it's not so.
It's not
like
sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
In
sharp.
18, it was so when she shows up at the restaurant, she's like grabbing someone's drink, and I'm
she's
just
like a drug addict, right? She was just
Yeah,
acting so
I'm like,
strange.
She's
I
ready to
don't-
stab somebody right in the throat in the
Yeah.
restaurant. Yeah. Yeah,
I
she
didn't
is.
love that Lori as much, but I do believe that she's trauma baking.
Yeah,
I do
that's my
believe
brother Blaze.
that she's definitely that's the continuance of who she is post trauma, and maybe
Yeah.
that she's in the knee deep in trauma in 18. And now she's like, I can't be in that space anymore. Because sometimes you just have to go, I gotta be somewhere else. I cannot, bask. I can't like soak in this forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, I have
Oh, Cammy
You
just
froze.
You froze, Cammy. Oh,
Right when she's about to deliver some news to
She
me.
was going to give you something really important about the Halloween series. Something was going to be
She
said.
was.
am I still frozen?
Oh, here we go.
you're
Here we
good.
go.
So you said,
You said,
Maddie,
I. That's what I got.
You know what that's like?
You
know what that's like? Halloween 1. I gotta. When Loomis says
That's right.
it,
And he runs away from the car with Marion.
With Nurse Marion.
That's
and,
right.
And it's like a weird.
I gotta.
It's like an audio cutoff. I guarantee they just cut it off. If you watch Halloween, the original this year,
Yeah.
watch for that moment. It's really awkward. And it's
After he steals the car and he's driving,
weird. He goes to the phone booth and he's trying to
Okay, I'm
call.
gonna
He
watch
checks
that.
her in the
I've already watched-
ditch. Yeah, he checks her in the ditch and he's like, I gotta. And then
And it
runs
just
off.
cuts off. It's so strange. But Cammy, what were you going to say when you were interrupted? I'm sorry.
This is not related to Halloween, but Grease too. I love Grease. I love freaking. I have a girl crush on Michelle Pfeiffer. I have my whole life. I love
Yeah.
her.
She's awesome.
I loved her in that. I like the music in Grease too. Cool writer. Like I was like, I need that outfit. I need to be able to dance like that. I
Yeah.
want to be her. I was going, and then when the bad guy and then he ends up being the sweetheart that's loved
Yeah.
her all along.
They needed that
And I'm
song
not
for this movie. They did. They needed it. Mike and I have said that from the
How
very
funny would that
first
have been if
time
they
we
just-
commented on this. I
yeah.
started saying "Cool Rider" because it's
Oh my
so
God.
needed to be.
Someone
in this
needs to
movie.
do like a fan edit where they just like.
Yeah,
we
they
could
could have
do
done
that.
like they could do like some more metal like remix or something. You know,
maybe
they could
to
make it
modernize it or
a little
something,
edgier. Yeah.
like a new wave, like.
I want to do. I want to do the Foreigner. I've been waiting for a girl like you video and just do scenes with Corey and Allison.
Yes, and just slow mo, a couple of those
They're
shots.
dancing in that one scene where they're just so
Yes.
into each
Oh,
other.
I
That-
love that
I
scene.
love that scene too.
Dude, when they're dancing in the bar, look at Cammy. She's like, ew.
Oh no,
I
because you got
love
Midnight
that
Monster
scene.
Hop is pumping, right? Isn't
No,
that-
it's
that's
not.
That's
It's
not
like
that scene.
it's
Oh, it's
like
like
a-
an aggressive song.
It's like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
aggressive song, which I think I'm gonna pick for soundtracks.
Oh,
Side,
okay.
What's our next one? Side 9?
8.
8. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that one.
Okay.
But when they're doing that dance, I just love that because it's like they're connecting. But I look at Cammy, she's like, ew. You hate that, don't you?
What do you
Cammy?
guys think about Michael like living like basically because they never address where he goes or
I
where
know.
he lives.
He's like a ninja
a
And now
turtle.
hermit.
he's like
Yeah.
He's a ninja
Yeah.
turtle.
He's eating like dead rats and like pieces of pizza that people throw in the garbage can.
Yeah, and he's made friends
what?
with a homeless guy. You know what I mean? It's so strange.
But it kind of makes sense. But do we need to know that? That's the thing. It makes
Is that,
sense, but do we
it's like
need to know
Halloween
that?
5, right? It's like
Yeah, the hermit.
There's no explanation.
No.
Yeah.
It's like a year goes by, right? Is this a year or 2 years?
No, it's like 4.
It's like
4
3 or
years.
4
It's
years.
4 years, I believe.
Dude, he's been in there for 4 years. It's
Time
so
jump,
strange. Yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely a part I didn't like. But anyway, well, Cammy, what do you do for Halloween before we say goodbye to you? Because you're in Vegas, so that we talked
I'm in
about this on the
Vegas.
Patreon. That to me, that just like is so strange to me because the one thing I'm not knocking where you live at all. I'm really not. But like Matt and I live obviously in New Jersey where you actually feel the fall. Like you're in Vegas. Like what was the temperature today?
Today wasn't bad. I mean, it probably got up to like 88, which in Vegas is like wow. I mean, from 3 weeks ago, it's
That's like sweater weather?
Yeah, sweater weather. But yeah, because it's all relative, right? But
Yeah, sure.
I've gotten used to it. I don't love it because I grew up in northern Utah, so I had 4 seasons and I had fall, and I miss fall the most.
Like
That's the
Provo,
hard-
like Provo-ish? Or does that north?
like Ogden,
Okay.
farther north.
Okay.
Yeah, up by where the Olympics were. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like about an hour from Park City. But yeah, I do it is but Vegas does Vegas. It does everything cool, right?
Yeah.
But unfortunately my neighborhood's really super lame. I don't know
Oh,
why.
no.
I know, but my daughter's friends, there's some that do like the big themes and the whole
Yeah.
neighborhood's in on it. I think it's just because my neighborhood's newer. But
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go to John's house and I'm gonna go trick or treat there because
Yeah, I know, it
when I
sounds
lived
pretty
in
awesome.
Charleston was that way. We had a lot of golf carts and you went to the one street and there's kids running everywhere and adults are drinking too much. Everyone's in their driveway. I mean, that for me, I miss that about
Yeah.
Halloween.
Well, Cammy, you'd love
So I'm
you'd love my town because I live in a town. There's all these old Victorian houses, which I used to live in.
Oh.
One of them, and it's like hills, and it's really really cool. It's like very Halloween like love.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
you can feel it. It's
For
great.
sure. And in
Yeah.
my neighborhood, there's like townhomes and stuff and apartments and stuff across the way. They drop their people just drop kids off in my neighborhood to go trick or treating, and then they come to pick them
Yep.
up like 3 hours, 4 hours later.
Mm.
So it's kind of cool.
That used to happen when I lived in Utah. Like they'd like bring kids in from the other side of town, and I had full size candy bars for days, and
Oh,
people
that's
they
awesome.
just line up at my door. Yeah, so here Vegas is the worst for me for trick or treating. So it's the build up for me. I just had my party, Mike.
Oh
last
yeah, how did
weekend.
that
It
go? Was it fun?
was awesome. Yeah, I was.
Why didn't I
Bride
see
of
any
Frankenstein.
pictures? Did you post pictures online or anything? or
I
no?
did.
Oh, I missed them. I
yeah.
got to go look for them. What did you dress as? What was your costume?
Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh my
Oh.
God, Cammy, I want to
my
see that.
gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
I'll
so
send. I'll send you
excited.
guys a pic.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
love to see that.
so-
That's amazing. Very
Yeah,
cool.
but thanks for having me. I know
Oh,
you
Cammy,
guys got,
before we go, the same question I've been asking everybody. End of the night
Okay.
on Halloween, you're sitting down, having a drink, you're ready to say goodbye to Halloween. What movie do you put on to say goodbye, Halloween? I love you.
Well, I'm always super sad, of course,
Of course.
and I'm usually just gonna put on the OG, and I'm just gonna
Okay, the original.
fill it for one last time because it is sacred and it
Yeah.
doesn't come on till
Yeah.
October 1st every year.
Gotcha.
And that's not one I'm gonna watch any other time. So it's sacred.
And
That's
I'm just
amazing.
gonna
in all
hang out.
honesty, it's the least Halloween looking film.
It is.
of
That's,
all of them.
It's funny. That's the one. As kids, we thought it was so Halloween.
Right.
looking. But when you watch, especially 4, 5, and 6, Salt Lake City did such a good job of capturing the fall because they filmed in the fall. So
Yeah.
when you watch the original now, you're like, what? There's like everything's so green and like it's definitely interesting. So that's cool. But that's one I used to put on Halloween night. So that's gonna be a nice way to say goodbye to Halloween.
Yeah, I like 4 because of you guys. Like
Love
I've
4.
dug deep into that one, and I love it because,
love it.
the connection for me, Utah. But so that one
Sure.
usually is going to come on during the day, but at night I'm still very, it's got to be that.
Got to be
so.
the original. That's awesome. Well, Cammie, we hope you have a great Halloween. We miss you, and we'll hopefully get to meet you sometime soon when you're coming out east with your daughter. We're gonna set up a dinner maybe or something and get together. It'll be super fun. So
If you don't, it's your funeral.
Thanks, guys.
all
It
right,
was
happy
awesome.
Halloween, Cammie. Thanks for joining
Happy
us.
Halloween,
Love you,
guys. Thank
Cammie.
All right, love you, Cammie. See you
Love
later.
ya. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so I think John Keller, I gave him a link to come right in. So hopefully he's going to jump in
All
a sec.
right.
So John, jump in, and I think we'll probably wrap it up because we're pushing on 2 hours here, Matt. of
We
this.
haven't done a 2-hour episode in probably
And
a
Matt,
year.
this is all about Halloween Ends, by the
Yes.
way. Which who would think that we would be talking 2 hours about a movie that most people can't
Despise,
like,
yeah.
that Peter Sudall walked out with
Walked out
20
of
minutes.
in
yeah.
not even, he didn't give it 20 minutes, by the way.
I don't think he did because he didn't even know who Corey was. I think he walked out before that kid said splat on the ground. Jeremy
Yes.
said splat. John Keller.
John,
All right.
How we doing, bud? Thanks for being patient, man. I'm so
the
sorry.
critter shirt.
No, I'm sorry.
I
I'm
love it.
pretty not tech savvy when it comes to
Hey,
anything
you're like
tech,
Maddie
so.
here. Maddie's not either. So you look awesome with your critter shirt. That's
Thank you.
amazing. I love it.
Beautiful.
So John, how did you get involved in the Halloween series?
So as a kid growing up, I had 3 older brothers. I just turned 39 October 7th, another Libra birthday, and the
Happy
whole birthday
birthday.
group for October.
Yeah, Maddie
Happy
too.
birthday, buddy.
So I grew up with 3 older brothers that all loved Stephen King, horror, Freddy, Jason, but weren't really Michael Myers people at all.
Interesting.
So it was always kind of Freddy, Jason, so much that I never even heard of Michael Myers until like the mid 90s.
Wow.
And I remember it's a weird thing. We were just talking, and we were at the Middletown Pizza Hut, which you guys are aware of on Highway 35.
Love
Yeah.
that
And
Pizza Hut.
we were talking about the original slashers. My brother's like, "Oh, there's Halloween. He wears like a white mask and kills people. That's the first." And I was like, "Oh, I want to see that." I remember watching the first one or renting it because back in that era, my parents didn't care what I watched. So I watched the first Halloween. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And then Halloween 6 came out, which I saw at the Hazlitt movie theater. And yet how times are different. My dad just bought my ticket and goes, "All right, he's gonna go see this, and I'm gonna go see True Lies." So my dad literally I just watched Halloween 6 when my dad saw another movie, and I was just probably 10 years old, I think, 9.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And I remember just being like, "Oh, this is awesome, cool." And I remember in the end when like the credits rolled and the Donald Pleasant scream goes like, "Ah!" I
Yeah.
remember like 3 teenage kids
Yes.
behind me. And I'm 10 years old. 3 teenage kids go, "Nice."
Nice.
And from that point, I always just kind of liked the Halloween movies, then just started doing a whole rewatch, and then went to 2, 3, 4, and as like probably 13, 14, 15, that's when I watched all of them.
Oh, that's awesome. Very
Mhm.
cool. So you're gonna kind of lay your cards on the line here, but we're gonna ask you to rank the David Gordon Green series. So how would you rank the 3 films that he
All right.
put
And
out?
I'm not even trying to troll or be the biggest heel
Sure,
of
it's
the horror
okay.
community.
Dude,
Dude, don't worry about it.
There's no judgment here at all.
None.
While Halloween 4 is my favorite Michael Myers movie,
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's Halloween is my favorite Michael Myers story of all time.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
So it's like I think the other guy was requesting future episodes. I would love horror blasphemy episodes of fans saying their complete blasphemy of a horror franchise statement. So that's my complete.
I like it.
All right.
blasphemy
Hey,
moment.
that's yours,
That-
man. Nobody can take that from you.
Yeah.
That's all right. So knowing that you do like the Rob Zombie films, how do you feel about how would you rank the David Gordon Green series?
So I was excited and all the buzz, like, "Oh, this is gonna be awesome!" And that first trailer came out and even the trailer had me a little weird when he's like dropping the teeth in the bathroom stall for the
Yes.
2018 one, and I'm
Ooh.
like, He
That was
doesn't really
very
do that,
Rob
though.
Zombie-esque, wasn't it? It was
Kind of, but that's like Rob Zombie's thing was his own thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
So when I saw Michael Myers doing that, I'm like, he doesn't really do that, though.
No, he wasn't
And-
dropping a big taco into the freaking.
Exactly. And me being like a super nerd fan, I'm like, ugh, that's not Michael Myers. But
Yeah.
my friends who are casual Michael Myers fans, like, yeah, that's awesome. And I'm like, no, all right. So when 2018 came out, it was like probably my 4th or 5th favorite Michael Myers movie. I didn't love it. I just thought it was like, oh, it's just kind of the best of. Here's the best of Halloween 4 with the garage. Here's the
Right.
best of
The Force Awakens.
H2O in the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, oh, okay. And then when that Halloween Kills trailer came out, I was like, whoa, okay, maybe they won me over. And that first 30 minutes won me over. I was wowed. And I never completely shifted a movie so quickly in Halloween Kills of, wow, this is incredible, to Evil Dies Tonight, Hospital, The
Yeah.
Oh
Penguin.
yeah.
So when 3 came out, me and my 2 buddies, my best friends from high school, saw 1, 2, and 3 all together in the theater.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, it's an awesome little tradition we had.
Yeah.
And like none of my kids were born then, and then both my kids were born by the last one. So it's a very cool experience.
That's awesome.
So when I saw the 3rd one, I was like, all right, I'm going to really low expectations. I don't even really like the other 2, but let's see. And that low expectation paid off. And I'm like, okay, this is the best one of all of them.
Wow.
I loved it.
Oh,
All
Absolutely
right.
loved it.
There
Floored
you
by it.
go.
And I was like, okay, this was awesome. I like this. And I'm not even trying to be the troll or the heel. That is my honest opinion. Where I'm like, no, this is something just so different
Yeah.
where it's just, okay, I respect it for being so weird and so different. But
Yeah.
I am also a psycho fan who thinks Friday the 13th Part 5 is the best Friday the 13th film. So, you know,
Oh, that's
yeah.
Yeah. that
So
is interesting,
I'm all
yeah.
over the place here. So
Yeah, but that's okay, John. And that's kind of like you and I are kind of in line in that sense. Not the Rob Zombie thing, I'll just say, but in the sense of this series, because I didn't like 2018. I definitely didn't like Halloween Kills, but when
Nope.
Halloween Ends came out, I watched it, not even expecting anything. And I was like, wow, this is like I can't even describe why I like this movie, but I really, really like it. You know what I mean? I just love Corey and Allison. I love the thing with Corey sort of like becoming bad. I don't know. There was just something so different about it.
Yeah,
like you said.
I dug it for all of those reasons. I was just ready for something new outside the Michael Laurie thing. I just had it, and I was just they could have thrown anything at me. I think I would
Yeah.
have bought it, honestly.
Yeah. So, John, would you have liked it if earlier in the episode, I don't know if you were on by that time, but I said, what if they, the trailer was like basically like Laurie and Michael back to back battle. You know what I mean? What if they started the movie as like that cold open with Laurie and Michael just having their battle? She kills Michael, and then all of a sudden we get to the Corey story. Michael's out of the picture. How would you have felt about the movie if they did that?
I mean, I don't even know because I kind of just liked what I saw already. So with
Yeah.
some of I wouldn't want to like persuade my opinion now of thinking of that way. I honestly can't even give you a good answer to that one thinking about it. I heard you ask the other guys that, and I just I think I'm the only one that liked it for what it was. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to change anything about that. I liked the
Right.
whole movie and the whole thing about it. So
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it would have been interesting if they did that, just to get it right off the plate, you know what I mean? And just be like, hey, we're gonna get to this new story now, almost like
Like I said, it's the inverse resurrection.
it is. Yes, it is definitely. the
She kills him
inverse.
instead of
Yep.
him killing her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So what are some moments of the film that really stood out to you that you really liked? We talked about Corey and Allison, but was that even a factor for you? Like, what was it that really made you say, wow, this movie's awesome?
I'm a big true crime guy. I love grim, depressing. That's probably why I love the Rob Zombie one. Yet I hate Rob Zombie Part 2. I hate Halloween 2, but Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. But I loved just that dread of Haddonfield about how like every Halloween suicides go up and the crime rate goes up and murder rates go up. And I just thought it was such an odd, depressing, weird detail
Mhm.
that would happen to such like a haunted, awful town that it's experienced such tragedy.
Yeah.
And that whole like opening vibe of them saying the depression of the town, it was like, oof.
Yeah.
This is cool. I feel like I'm watching like a Netflix documentary now with like the
Yeah, it's
narration.
true,
and it
yeah.
just felt like it sucked me in that way. I'm like, oh, this has got me. This has got me like good. I like this. And then when that whole Corey kills the kid, which was fucking shocking, when you see that, you just don't expect that. And so it was like, oh, and then that credits show like him going in the car and him being interviewed and like the newspaper clippings. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's a Netflix documentary. Cool. It's a Netflix documentary about the haunted Haddonfield, and this is awesome. And that's what
Yeah.
kind of I think it just hooked me right from there, and that's
Right.
why I liked it so much.
Yeah, that's great. So how did you feel about the ending with we talked about the kill like of Michael? Did you like that conclusion, or do you feel like I feel, because I feel like Michael should have gotten away, and they should have just left it open ended. Not saying that they should have continued this series, but they should have left it because Michael should have always sort of just be gone. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's so ridiculously silly to the point where I'm like, okay, he's not just dead. We're going to disintegrate his body in
Yes.
front of your
I
eyes.
agree.
But I'm also the weirdo who still believes Halloween 1 through H2O is still canon.
I
So
agree. Yeah.
I don't believe it ever was. Like, so yeah, there's some bad storytelling, but I still believe it's all 1 through 6. H2 is not a reboot. It's just part 6.
Yeah.
So it's when it comes to that factor to it, it's just like it's they're just gonna reboot it now. Now we are in hard reboots now, and that was my biggest issue with Halloween 2018 not making Halloween 281 canon, because they're talking about how dangerous Michael Myers is. He was the most brutal killer of all time, but he only kills 4 people in the first movie.
Right.
So it's like, oh, those 4 people he killed. Yeah, it's 4 people he killed, but it's not like if they counted the part 2 kills, that would have been like 15 or 16, 17 people he killed. So they're making Maggie as an infinite badass when he only killed a few people. So that's why he just never even felt like a threat to begin with in these newer movies.
Yeah.
And then suddenly becomes super Frankenstein Jason. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. By the way, you went with 2 friends, you said, right?
Yeah.
You felt the way you did. How'd your 2 friends feel when they walked out of Halloween Ends?
They're not like I'm the super nerd fan, and they're just kind of like the Fairweather fans, and they liked all 3 of them. And they were a little mixed with the third one, but we still just kind of all like, oh, that was cool. And it was kind of always like a cool experience we have. We go to Buffalo Wild Wings before the movies, have a few beers, and then go watch it, and then have a little buzz while watching it. So it's always fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. That's great. So John, let's. What do? You have 2 sons, right?
A son and a daughter.
A son and a daughter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So what are you doing for Halloween this year? Like, what are your kids dressing up as? What's your plan?
It's awesome. My son is 5 now, so it's very exciting that he's now into Ninja Turtles and superheroes, and just getting into Star Wars now. So he loves Star Wars so much. Where in August he wanted to be a stormtrooper, then he wanted to be Darth Vader, then he wanted to be Jason Voorhees for a week, but then he wanted to go back to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be Darth Vader, and when he was a baby, he was Baby Yoda. So we're gonna make my daughter Baby Yoda, repurposing that costume, and then me and my wife are gonna be like a kind of Han Solo, Princess Leia combination.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Very cool. And how's your neighborhood for trick or treating? Do you stay in your neighborhood, or do you go somewhere else?
We stay in our neighborhood. We live in like a very cliche, perfect looking suburban U.S. town. Brown leaves everywhere. Very Halloweenish. Very awesome. So it's a great town. So,
That's gonna be great. So
Yeah.
this question, I love this question. I kind of came up with it on the spot.
You
but
did.
End of the night, John. You're sitting, your kids are in bed, you're hanging out, maybe your wife's in bed, and you're just like holding on to Halloween for the last moment. You crack open a beer and you're sitting down. What movie are you putting on to say goodbye to Halloween?
I'm the kind of guy, actually, I wouldn't watch the movie. I would go on YouTube and go on like Joe Blow Horror or something and watch the history of Halloween 1 through 4.
Okay.
Or watch some retrospective, because hearing someone talk just about the trivia and the history and all that to me is my favorite part, is just super fans.
Cool.
That's a different
nerding
take.
out about it, where I can learn a new fact about it. I'm like, oh, I never knew that thing before. That's cool. I never realized that before.
So that's how you would end your night. So are you like Matt and I, where we kind of have to get through like our favorite Halloween movies? Like, are you like that, where you have to kind of check them off your list before Halloween?
Yeah, so me and my buddies, actually the same 2 guys I saw the Halloween movies with, we always made it's now the 10th year or 11th year we've watched Halloween 3. Yeah. We watch it every year.
Awesome.
So that's kind of the big one we always watch.
I've done that the
my
last
buddy,
couple of
I
years.
pictures.
Yeah.
He built this incredible home theater setup. Like 8 leather chairs, a projector screen. It's incredible. I'll send you pictures.
Oh, that's
we did a
amazing.
Friday 13th
Yeah.
Part 4 anniversary screening
Oh,
last
dude,
month
that's
for Friday
so cool.
13th.
40
So we
years,
have our own
baby.
little personal theater. So we're probably gonna watch Halloween 3. We might do Halloween 4 on Friday tonight,
Oh,
because we
my
just love
God.
Halloween 4, because it's always 4 and 3. You have to watch 4 and 3. That's
Yeah.
the 2. 4 is the easiest one. It's the most
Mhm.
cliche but best Michael Myers film. As like I always say, Friday 13th Part 6 is the best cliche Friday 13th film.
Mhm.
Show anyone the first, show them those ones.
Yeah,
That's what
I
have to
agree.
say.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, John, we hope you have a great Halloween, and hopefully we'll see you soon. We'll try to maybe do another Midnight Madness with our friends over in Red Bank. Get Maddie to one. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh,
if we
Midnight
can.
Madness.
They're
Yeah.
doing great stuff over there. Doing really
I
good
know they
stuff.
are. It's just so late. It's so hard. I'm trying to convince Maddie to
Creep Show
go.
1 and 2. Creep Show 1 and 2.
Oh,
Oh, my, they're doing that?
yes,
They
dude.
did it already.
They did it.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
they do some really good stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a good double.
it's awesome. Well, John, happy Halloween to you, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Thanks for joining us on the episode.
Yep, happy Halloween.
Happy
and hope to see
Halloween,
you at the
John.
movies.
Best to
Yeah.
the family, dude.
Take care, bud. See you later.
Bye bye. Have a good night.
All right, so Matt, we're pretty much at 2 hours here. I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
So, any last thoughts about this film before we say goodbye to it and say goodbye to Halloween, because this is the last episode we'll be doing
In
for
October.
Yeah, it's like, we think of Halloween, this is like our season, right? So like for podcasting, we love talking about horror movies. This is like it. So this is our last. It's a little sad.
This is the most episodes we put into a shorter period of time.
It is really. We really cranked it out. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy. High five. on
Goodbye.
that.
Good
Yeah.
job.
So last thoughts on Halloween Ends.
I like that we got all these different opinions.
Yes.
We had people walking out.
I love
the
it.
people who it's their favorite of
Yes.
the David Gordon Green trilogy.
Yeah.
The people who hate the Corey Allison
Oh
dynamic.
yeah, Cammy
I mean,
hated Corey. Like it was great.
It ran the gamut. I
Yeah.
think that's what we kind of were looking for. Like where
Yes.
do people think? And
Yeah, we
people are
didn't
all
want
over the
everyone to
map.
agree with us. We wanted
No.
different opinions. So I'm psyched that we got different opinions and we understood. Any last thoughts about characters or anything you forgot to mention about the episode that you love?
No, it just makes me want to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, like I watched it before the episode, so I'm caught up on that. So Matt, you kind of mentioned you always watch Halloween 3. Are you going to change the movie you're going to watch this year
That's
on
a good
Halloween?
question.
You going to switch it up?
I might go to 2,
You're going to watch 2?
maybe.
Okay.
It's been a couple of years. I
That's
got to
cool.
return because the cinematography, Dean Cundy's like the.
Oh, it's amazing for that. Yeah,
So that movie's so good.
I love it. Yeah.
So I might have to watch that one. But definitely not going to the OG. I've seen it way too many times.
Right.
I'll watch it if it's on AMC for a little bit, just a couple of commercials worth or whatever.
Yeah.
But if I'm going like full on Blu-ray or something, I'm gonna put 2 on. I might even put 4 on.
Yeah. I've done 4 already. We just watched that in my yard.
H2O I would watch. That's a good one.
Oh, that H2O. You know what's funny? I meant to mention that when we brought up H2O before. That's the Halloween that I've watched the most this season.
Wow.
Is H2O. I put it on probably 5 or 6 times and watched it,
Wow.
which is pretty wild. But you know what? I think I'm going to go with John. I think I'm going to watch The Midnight Hour on Halloween night.
I do want to watch that.
Yeah,
I
I
do
think
wanna watch
that's the one I'm going to put on Halloween night.
But that was a good suggestion. That is a great kiss off.
oh,
the
that's so
Halloween
good.
movie.
That's so fun because it's like
Yes, it's melancholy, but it's also like wistfulness and hope, and I don't know. It's just all rolled into one.
you know what makes me laugh about that movie? You know when it actually aired?
November.
November 1st.
Yes, November.
So-
Yeah, I thought
so
that is weird. By the way, Wes was on here before. I just want to say hi to
Oh yeah, Wes.
Old Man
said hi.
Ghostface. What's up,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah, how you doing, Wes? All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap this up for this episode. Thanks for joining us. This was super fun. We are on Patreon. If you guys like what you hear here, you can join us over on Patreon and consider supporting the podcast. We do bonus episodes every month, and we do some video stuff on there, which is super fun.
Yeah, man, join us. We'd love to have any of you guys. And there's Halloween love all year long, but there's also just horror love all
That's
year long.
it. Well, guys, happy Halloween to you guys. We love you, and thanks for watching the stream and listening to us and supporting the podcast. Any last words, Matt, before we say happy Halloween to
You're
everybody?
all beautiful people.
Thanks, guys, from the Alone in the Dark podcast. We want to say happy
Life's
Halloween.
too short. Don't be a witch.
That's it. See you guys. Take care.
Dracula was standing at the bar, sipping